So last time we started off with traveling over to the sewer entrance. On the way there, we saw numerous bands of what appeared to be prisoners from by the Skaven that were all being led inside the um ruins slash fort that the Skaven are currently occupying. After attempting to climb the very steep cliff up to the sewer entrance, that I think was like 100 yards up, we decided to stop trying to climb up and decided to climb down. We found another way up, climbed above the sewer entrance, rappelled down using a rope, and entered. Following that, we found numerous piles of something appearing to be bodies identified as a halfling. Moving on from there, we entered a somewhat of a mine shaft sort of looking area, if from what I can remember. We made our way through the sewers, not too far in. Found a fairly large, what appeared to be corrupted cornfield of sorts, with numerous dead bodies being dropped from the higher up in the complex. After devising a plan for a good hour, following the plan for most of the way, we managed to grab some cloaks, sneak by, and get into some of these side rooms. Following that, George used his cat, scouted ahead, found some guards. We lured those guards into a very back side room, killed them, and that's where we pick up.
Wow, you left off a lot of stuff.
All the grand heroics of Matt.
Well, of course.
Oh, one more thing. The wolf kid did nothing and got hurt. Yes, and the bell.
He's got notes.
That's
Yeah, there was that bell. Come
yeah,
on.
it's fine.
More sleep.
Yes.
How many bodies do you have?
And more
Apparently, I have a lot
rising.
of bodies.
Yeah, that's fine. That's normal.
They're all just halflings.
He had 25 experience for that. He lost like an entire page of details.
What details did he miss?
The bell. The bell
bell.
falling down.
The breaks. The
More
breaks
sleep is
was
a
ability to
slaves.
All the slaves.
I
lure
said
everybody
slaves.
to us.
Yeah, there
The
were
12,
slaves.
at least
That-
a dozen Skaven that were in the cornfield. He did mention us sneaking with cloaks, but no mention of any Skaven or reason to sneak.
And no mention of his.
I was going fast.
He didn't even mention the argument we had. How
Yeah.
we totally ignored George's plan. Come on now.
Yeah.
The best laid plan.
He also didn't mention us hiding into like
Our
our
room.
boxes and almost.
Anyway, this is where we pick up.
Okay. So,
bell was
the last bell chimed 9
correct.
and seems to be, give or take, between 30 to 45 minutes or so.
It's only the guards that get excited when the bell hits, right? Like
No,
nobody else.
there's a surge of excitement and activity from everybody that you've seen, whatever the bell's going off.
Even the slaves.
Even the
Eventually, I
slaves.
thought
Now,
the slaves were scared.
it's some of it. I mean, you could interpret the slaves as being more scared of something that's going to happen, and versus the guards are more excited for something that's going to happen. But everybody reacts to it.
Oh yeah. The ground is covered in warpstone chunks outside.
We think.
We think. Yeah.
Right.
This giant cannon.
The cannon is
Can't
pointing
really
in the general
discuss it.
direction of where the moon is rising.
Just broken glass. Your bodies.
That's right.
All right, I'm gonna proceed to that right,
Okay.
where the cat was at,
Okay.
and I'm going to just act like a Skaven.
2D scan.
Just act like a Skaven.
Yeah, because that goes back to the
You're right.
prior conversation we had about the whole halfling beneath notice type thing, and me wearing the
I think you might have forgotten the
Skaven
reason why
cloak.
we said that was a bad idea. Did you forget?
because I'm half the size of a fucking
No.
Skaven.
Because any of those slaves that are out and about, we basically slaughter.
Because they're only chained
Don't
up.
sneak.
So you're gonna head off to the east on your own.
I'm not. I'm just gonna go over to see if I can ping
You should be able to move your figure.
No.
right there. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of go hang out right there,
You okay? It's my sunburn, so like.
but I'm gonna listen as I walk
Okay.
because I don't want to just stumble
Reds.
into a patrol coming. If I hear a patrol coming, I'm gonna scamper back to where I was.
Okay. The rest of you are still in the side passages, side rooms. You had several dead Skaven there that you've pulled out of immediate view. What, if anything, did you want to do with them?
I just want to ask everybody: is it cool if I leave these tents here? We can come back. For
Oh
it later?
yeah, we still have those.
Man,
Do they have any keys? No.
That's what I was going to ask you too. So that's a good idea.
My bad.
Phone combat.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, it takes me from being double encumbered to
Single.
single encumbered, and I'd like to be able to move to.
But you might need a tent.
Right.
It's true.
I mean, this is getting pretty intense.
No. Oh, I got my TP.
Mhm.
I'm a wigwam.
Intense.
Relax, it's your tents.
Nice.
Okay, then that is. I will
Okay,
leave.
so you're going to discard the tents here?
I'm just gonna leave them like where if I came back to this area, I would be able to find them again if they were there.
It's fine.
Okay.
As long as you remember to come back to it, they should be here.
Yeah, this place definitely won't
You already
collapse
had the
like the
time.
last castle.
I'm going to do the same
You're
with
just
my winter
tarping over
clothing.
the-
I don't
Okay.
feel like sweating to death.
Yeah, I mean it's a steady 55, 60 degrees here. You guys are definitely not cold inside the Carrack. So any of that winter clothing you can leave behind if you don't want to carry it with you.
I'm keeping it on me.
Okay.
I took one off. What'd I do?
You carried it.
You carried it, I think, because you couldn't
No,
climb with
he's carrying it.
No.
No, I was going to, and then he allowed you to make it one less because you're tiny. So you hung on to it.
So normal bulk before a nap.
I think it's a bad idea to leave it. God knows if we're actually going. God knows if we're going to be able to retrieve it.
There is no God. At least, you know.
That's something I should say.
Is it green? Is it
Yeah.
really green? Inside the building it's glowing green?
Yeah, the lights are green.
Bioluminescent.
Remember my sweet storm lantern I had?
Mm.
Okay.
I still have that, by the way.
Hey,
Anybody wants to let it green?
You want to carry my money for me?
I'll take the bulk.
Check.
That's right. Yeah.
Take
You asked the thief if he wants to carry the gold.
I flip flop these two. It's supposed to be 18 gold and 4 because we just got a bunch of it. 18 gold and 4
Well,
shillings.
yeah, we
Got it.
sold all the.
What's in this room?
Is that because that extra coin is slowing you down?
It is.
Seriously?
Yes.
If Matt wants to
Yep.
run, just throw a coin on him.
How
real
much
quick.
money you want me to
Seriously,
take?
I'm encumbered
I
because of my
get
coin.
Damn.
Is
This
there
was
anything there?
old. This was old supply rooms that have been looted. There's nothing of value in here.
Yep.
Okay.
But
Money
there's
gone, no longer.
Plenty of trash and rubble and debris and everything where you guys can hide stuff. That's not a problem.
You want the two-handed halberd so they can
Chop, chop.
I don't know, do whatever they keep doing to us all the time.
You got to be
This might be a
skilled with
slow
it.
game for
Oh,
Melbourne.
What's
Yeah,
that?
this might be a
It's
slow game.
pointy on one end and not on the other. Like, how hard is that to do?
I don't know, but I can't figure it out.
Are there any signs
You and I
of,
both in your clang, 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 clang.
like, we're training, leave us alone, or like a guard station?
No.
So these guys are just randomly walking around. It looks like.
Yes.
The rats, dude.
Can't blame us.
They're really
So,
more,
yeah.
it's really more of a scurry.
We want to drag them like to the farthest recess.
I go to that
Yeah,
corner.
don't go any further.
Okay.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what the rest of the group's doing.
We're gonna pull the bodies.
I know.
We're gonna pull the bodies over here, like as to the farthest resources in the dark. So
Okay.
and then
Less chance of being
Is it-
discovered.
is it like sand on the ground with dirt?
No.
Whatever. No.
Um,
you just had it
carved stone.
Gotcha. So not really cleaning anything up.
Nobody's
there.
questioning it.
Did you bring the bleach? Okay.
I drink it, but I mean that's the 2 bottles of wine, right?
This is spicy.
No, that's all. And then
No, I'm still.
It's
I'm- we're still waiting until you guys do your little look ahead, make sure it's clear to go, and then move on. All right.
The halflings disappeared.
Oh, well, we're waiting for you to cat master it again.
Well, I think we determined that I can't
Is he still
master it that
hiding
long.
Is he still
Oh.
hiding in the boxes?
And I do need to hold
Oh.
my dagger.
How much encumbrance of your stuff did I have again?
I think it was. You have a total of
I'm not sure
6 encumbrance.
I'm not sure that's a great trade. You hold his gold and he holds your dagger.
I can hold a whole 1 encumbrance, guys.
I mean, you can drop 2 days worth of rations, and that'll drop you a bulk.
Oh, I just made it 60 encumbrance. Yeah, that's not right.
You can always get corn.
You get corn.
Yeah, and the corn is fertilized with dead bodies. So I feel like that's a problem.
Well, it's well fed. That's the unfortunate part
Can't
about
say,
it.
can't say that about
Ears of corn have real ears on them.
I am still encumbered.
Oh,
I gave you my money for no reason.
Potatoes have eyes.
One of the highest things
That's fact.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll take the petty cash all day.
Pumpkin
that
Fat
reminds me. I'm gonna make a potato barrel.
Pay you for your blessings. Isn't that how it goes?
Pumpkin Fat Beef.
Okay, so you guys are presumably staying back here until the halfling returns.
Yeah, until the scouts return to give us the go ahead for the next couple of rooms. I don't want to.
So Thad, you move into the next room. It's currently empty.
Ooh.
Where you are, you can hear quite a bit of activity in this direction, and you can see shadows and movement down that hallway.
I start stealthing back the way.
Okay.
I don't want to make noise.
Yeah.
So I'm taking my time and I'm
Right.
gonna stealth back.
Doesn't seem to be anybody down here, but you hear voices and quite a bit of movement.
Do I hear skittish voices?
Yes.
Okay. If I hear them getting closer, I abandon the stealth and run.
Okay.
Or
Right now, you're not hearing anything.
I'm just telling you on the way back.
Mhm.
The plan is if I see anybody, I'm running.
Okay.
If I see a room like full of fucking crap that I can just hide in, I'll try to do that.
Okay. Yeah. There's no other passageways or anything that you're spotting.
That's fine. I'm just gonna head back to.
Okay. Go ahead and move back, and then you can discuss with the group what you guys wish to do. Just keep in mind they can't necessarily see what you can see.
I still think we can kill the corn.
That would alert everybody that there's something going on.
You hear movement
Water.
down the hall,
Swords out.
There's a reason I'm sitting here.
and then a Skaven comes around the corner.
He gets
I'm really short skipping.
This
He's
was
he's almost beneath your notice.
This was easy, guys. Look at this. Clang.
They just sit on him.
So I went a couple rooms down, past where you scouted, and there are definitely Skaven in there, and they were
What's that?
hyped up about something.
Like one or
Oh,
five or.
There were a couple at least.
Birthday.
It didn't sound like a patrol. It sounded like there's something else going on in that room. But I'm no fighter. I'm more
Yeah,
lover.
it sounded more like probably a dozen or more in a very large chamber.
Oh, so it was a lot of them in a large chamber. Some might say a dozen.
Ready?
I mean, we're still gonna try to sneak, right? As best we can, if necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. Sneaking out the window.
Got it.
Pull out my pistol.
You got a
Prepare for combat.
you got a fancy blessing to make us not noisy and sneaky.
No, because it's agility based, and I
So,
can't get blessing for
northwest
agility.
here.
Correct.
Right. This section.
And I opted to get the quartz for replenishing instead
When
of
we
the
came down
too,
this
so
way,
that
what
was
did
much
that
better.
look like?
Yeah.
Was it
That was a natural
I figured if I
tunnel
failed to
Mhm.
stealth,
that
I
went
could
a
free
short
roll it with
distance
that
uphill
instead of
fairly
getting it
steadily.
flat
And at the
notes.
end, there were various drainage holes where rainwater and snow runoff was dripping in, providing water and everything into the room.
okay?
It didn't have any passageways that were large enough for any of you to fit through.
Okay.
I mean,
So did your cat scout it?
I scouted to where the guards were playing poker at, and we
So
Do you have any
So where's this at?
engineering or
How
Like-
far forward did you go?
Maybe another 50 yards, 2 rooms.
Let's go see. You lead us on. Tell us when we're gonna get close.
would
I put my.
Sorry.
You're good.
would lore local work for that?
No.
I can try a blessing.
Yeah, if you have any dwarven lore or engineering lore, those would apply. But I mean,
So
none of
before
you
we
are
go in,
dwarves, so I wouldn't really expect
if
any of
we're-
you to have that.
If
Yeah.
still
Local
happens to be
lore
stealth,
is
but yeah,
more
I can
of
try it.
civilizations. I mean, there's dwarves that were here.
I put my
That's about it.
hood down.
Okay.
Or my coif down so I can hear better.
Okay.
Start following him.
If any of these would work, I have Reichland, Sigmar, the Empire, and Theology, plus lore.
Okay.
Local.
Go ahead in this room. Go ahead and group up with your rough margin order.
I'm going to
Can't speak.
I'm gonna keep my coif up,
Okay.
but I don't know if you heard Matt. Before we enter in, he's gonna attempt a blessing on us before we go in to try to make it
Make it quiet.
as far as I know, he knows how to make us quiet.
Okay.
I think so.
So who's the little guy right
More
there?
importantly, he will give you a blessing. He's just not going to tell you whether
Right.
it's effective.
Or what it is. You're good, buddy. You're good.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a blessing of brightness.
That's right.
Woo!
So
I'm concealed, aren't I?
They can't see if I'm blinding.
I
right.
wonder if you give him the blessing of fire.
Oh, I gotta sing blinded by the light.
Okay, so you guys are good with that rough positioning
There.
with the halfling? You guys are going to stay together as a group?
I don't want him right behind. Are you right behind me?
Yeah.
No.
Would you rather have black powder or him right behind you?
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. If
You get shot in the back or hit by a flail.
I'll be,
Those are
I'll,
your choices.
I'll be behind the berserker.
Okay.
There you
I'm
go.
not worried about a formal military formation.
Yeah.
I just need to know general
Yeah.
location.
You're
where
out of
everybody
step.
is.
Our lead blocker.
Right. What the hell's wrong with you people?
You guys are not military. You're not marching down the hallway. You're stealthing. But the idea that I'm gathering is all of you going to stay roughly tight as a mob moving forward, rather than as opposed to you going 20 yards ahead and then waving everybody up.
I would like him to be, if you're okay with this, it'd be, what would that be? Just a 3 squares, which would be
10
like-
yards. Yeah,
Okay, and that's it.
Okay.
yeah and I have no problem with that. You guys are going to go at my pace.
There we go. That's fine. We're stealthy.
So we're going slow enough.
The crisis that you had
Still
determining
still.
one behind you.
But don't be
Utter
Suspicious.
right?
No stealthy is what?
None. You have 0 stealth.
We
With
need
0 armor you're wearing.
I have
27 still.
Okay, so you're still pretty decent.
He's untrained.
He's better than me by a
Third.
fairly significant margin.
Come third.
You're not
Who's
wearing.
wearing armor?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Parker, right.
Coup de grace.
Stealth. There it is.
I also have one.
If we were in a rural environment, I would used to have a 23
yeah.
because I
Right,
had
that's
minus 10 because
Go ahead and make fun of that because that's exactly
No,
what
I'm more
80%
than
of
that.
people.
So do you get both your armor penalty and your? So I have a 13 in rural, 3
He was married to
in the dungeon right now.
Okay. Yeah, should be worse.
I got 10 ranks in rural. Damn it.
Look at like 15.
This is
Okay.
working. Then you think
That
slowly.
Yes.
you get to about here when
Uh-huh.
you hear footsteps approaching from the eastern hallway.
Do I get it? With this,
He's the first one to hear.
I get that. I have that acute hearing. Right.
I turn around
Okay.
and, like,
Oh, actually, I already had my sword out.
That's also not forward.
and I go hide in this corner.
Okay.
I step over to the side of the over here.
Pray for people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I say, yeah. Hopefully, everybody backs off.
So it would be private because we're doing
Crossbow
things
loaded.
Okay. Because you don't want to tell them what you're
Yeah,
doing.
absolutely.
We just leave the rogue in the middle of the hallway.
I was kind of nervous about that.
I'll get the 3 warriors then.
Okay.
And then I'll
So,
Everybody goes invisible except for halfway. Wait a minute. How about that fucking stealthy?
I don't think anybody
so you're casting it on the other 3, or 3 plus
Lilia,
you,
Andy and Matt. So, not 3 plus
Wait.
me. It's only those 3.
just
Oh.
3. Okay. So all 3 of
Oh.
you blend into the shadows, becoming practically invisible. The halfling hopes he's nondescript. That leaves who out? Ben and you. Okay. Give me a stealth roll.
I'm
Since I-
attempting to peek. Like I'm
Yeah.
trying to get as close to that corner,
You-
but I'm
you-
trying to.
Yeah,
see
you
down
only have a few seconds anyways as you hear footsteps approaching.
Do I know I'm that well hidden?
Yes.
Okay, we do know where.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told you you're stealthy.
I'm
Oh,
going,
Jesus
I'm
Christ!
going to, like, melt into the corner
Mhm.
and make it look like I'm just like a pile of refuse sitting there.
Why was I better than you?
Since I'm so small.
Sure.
Oh, well, you saw that. It's a private, but I'll reveal to everyone.
I refuse to look.
You refuse to look.
You figure if you cover up your face, the monsters can't
Thank
get
God
you.
for that reverse.
Just put your blanket over your head.
I love how that's like a universal thing.
Oh,
that every kid.
culture.
Wait, what?
When you're a little kid, you cover up your head at night so the monsters can't get you.
And you don't.
Kid. Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Listen, I still don't let my leg hang.
That
off
doesn't
the
do
edge.
that.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that.
I don't know
Dad
why
goes
it
like
says
this, he's just like over the edge, and the small hand comes out, and he pulls it.
I figured you had to
He's
say
like,
that
"Oh, you
at
can't
once.
do it."
Help
And
with
then the
that.
hand comes up again, and he's like, "Oh, oh, oh," and finally the hand's like, not tickling stuff.
I would shoot something.
And
Have you-
I mean, it
I watched that
matters
on
the
Facebook.
details
That's
of
scary.
what that blessing is.
Hide in the bed, reach up, grab.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a second.
No, yeah. I would buy.
What
I would
is the
chop
stupid
straight
name
up
of the helper?
and
guys?
also that-
He's gonna kill whatever.
My bed's got
It'd be nice if they would
box
just
underneath
list
it,
them
and
as Skaven,
everything with one side.
so that I can easily locate them.
Yeah, I'm with you. I've always, my entire life, when something scares me, I attack it. Whatever it is,
Except for
I attack it.
basement stairs.
Nope.
If like
Attack
our
stairs.
basement wasn't nice like this. Our basement was creepy bodies, musty smelling. Like
That was a criteria when we built this. It cannot be a creepy, dusty
well,
basement.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It had the dirt wall when we first got it. The
Oh, good
Michigan
one.
third wall, and so every time I would take like jars of food down to put on the thing because we canned all our food, I would be getting ready to go up the stairs and there's only one switch and it's on the bottom. It's not up top, so I would hit it and sprint up
Was
the
it-
stairs. And
Did you have the steps where you could see through and reach through? Yes.
Yeah.
That was my
Yeah.
my grandparents' basement. My
Insane.
parents would be like, go downstairs, because my grandparents had a chest freezer, and he'd always send one of the kids down to get something. Like, go downstairs and get this. I'm like, damn it. And and if I ever acted like I was afraid in front of my dad, it was hell to pay.
Get in, close the door, and just lean against the door and breathe. Try to get your breath under control before your parents saw you.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What are you, pussy?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Well, they.
Your upbringing doesn't seem so terrible, does it?
Well, we actually have haunted skeletons in our basement.
Oh, come on now.
No, we did.
We have video proof.
All right, that's a lot.
Okay, you
What?
see several Skaven
what?
armed and armored,
Ah!
along with a number of the more wretched one, the slaves, being led in there. The slaves seem to are carrying several sacks, all of which seem to be empty, and they're marching in. They get to here as they come around the corner, and they stop. Two of them, or several of them, continue on through here. These three continue on as well. This one stops here, spins, and says something to you.
How far ahead are the other ones?
They're just going down the hallway.
Like right down the hallway?
Yes. He says something. It sounds angry, and he points towards the hallway with the cornfield. I don't believe you speak Queekish.
No, I do not.
Okay.
I speak a lot of other languages, so.
He pauses for a moment. He
That's
looks a
okay.
little confused. And then he croaks out something. You, Gorin! Back to work!
Can I be taking slow steps?
You can, but if you draw attention to yourself, your invisibility goes away.
Really?
Yes.
It's in the chat.
Do anything to draw attention to yourself, such as touching, attacking, calling out to somebody, casting a spell, or making another loud noise.
Oh, I'm okay with that. But loud noise, walking is not loud noises.
Granted, yes.
Can I hear this interaction taking place?
Yeah.
I start stealthing my way forward.
Okay. Tell me what you want to try to do, Ben.
I don't want to draw attention to the group.
So
I
you're in this
guess
situation.
I'm going to attempt to go along with it.
Okay, so you're gonna follow his instructions and go along.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see how that goes.
Okay. So the two of you head down the hallway and into this area. What would rest of you like to do as they lead Heinrich away?
Oh,
And
I
there
look
goes that guy.
directly at you, Matt.
Can we even see each other?
Yeah, we can still see each
Okay.
other.
You guys continue on. I'll follow.
You're gonna follow him.
You think you can get him out of this?
Yeah, technically the spell doesn't really make you invisible. It makes you unperceivable.
Gotcha.
Except for people that I mean, we probably should adjust that in combat.
That's what I kept commenting. It doesn't give me invisibility.
Right,
It makes me unperceivable, which
Right.
is very similar, but not to say that I should kill it.
I feel like it's that Doctor Who thing where the creatures only appear when you're not looking at them.
That's right.
No, we should have killed it.
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay, where's he going?
I'm
You
following
going east or following them?
Following them.
Okay.
I just want to see. I want to be within earshot in case things go down.
Give me a charm roll, Ben.
I am so glad I actually have a good charm skill.
That's a little slave dance.
Hey!
Okay. You get into here. The one that was speaking to you smacks you over the back of the head for 1 point minus your toughness.
Well, that's still a minimum of 1 point.
No, it's a non-lethal attack.
Oh, well then, no.
He just abusing the slaves. Points over at the boxes and says something along the lines of, "Grab more bags. Go to the fields." And then the rest of them all walk out of the area. They head north.
Where?
They take you with them, apparently.
Apparently.
Grab more bags, sweet grandview.
Are more... Did they point down here?
They pointed over here where all the boxes and supplies were.
And they all went...
The rest of them lead the other slaves further north.
So they all went?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would they care what an individual slave's going to do?
Okay.
They're completely secure.
Okay.
Okay.
I will... Fair point. I will...
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like you're going to get away.
Yeah, I am going to hopefully sneak back the way we came.
So you're going to ditch them?
Yeah.
It's coming back to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you head back to the passageway. You see the two of them stalking down the hallway trying to catch up. Seems
Yeah.
they let him go or something. Must be friends of Skaven.
That looks so bad.
You're alive.
I always knew he was a sneaky little rat.
Okay?
That was close. Well done.
I don't know how long this spell lasts, but I'm feeling awfully rambunctious right now.
Doesn't last that long.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you feel visible.
It's
again.
over. You're like, it's over. Ah!
It lasts maybe a minute.
There goes the courage.
The
So
feeling gone.
I go ahead and relay what
It's good
I-
because
what
I
they
can
said and
overcast.
stuff.
I can like
They're
effectively
probably coming
overcast
back
to
this
go
way
longer. So like most encounters, I
So,
yeah,
yeah,
you
so-
assuming I don't do any of the
Let's
lists.
move a little
Right.
fast.
The fellowship bonus is like 4 or 5 rounds, probably.
While staying
Yeah, 5.
as stealthy as possible,
Okay.
we're gonna have to.
Okay.
He's right. We need to pick up the pace.
Yeah, you head down this passageway. You see numerous Skaven passing by the entrance of the passageway.
Do we need to move ourselves as well, or
Yes. Go ahead and move yourselves.
not? I don't know where he is. There he is. Okay.
Yeah, he's at the end of the hallway. Looking out, you see a
Somebody
major hallway, it looks like. It stretches out across the way a good, 15 yards or so. Arches upwards, easily 50 feet,
Oh, wow.
and is supported by ornate dwarven architecture holding up the ceiling, and stretches off to the sides either direction, further than you can really see with detail, but with the lighting you can it's just this massive tunnel and highway effectively.
Everybody get your cloaks on and tight against
Okay.
you.
Nearby there's at least a dozen Skaven, handful of slaves. Most of them are armed and armored, just tending to their own work and tasks and so forth. Some of them are collecting supplies, some of them are digging, some of them are doing other tasks, some of them are just absolutely beating the slaves. There looks like some sort of a earthwork or digging over in this area to the northeast on the eastern side of the passageway. There are more tunnels to the southeast and southwest. The one to the southwest doesn't seem to be being used. The one to the southeast seems to be a major source of traffic going into and out of it.
The
East.
southeast, so that little tunnel I see down
This
there.
one right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And then to the north, there are several large groups. They look more like they're more relaxed, maybe off duty.
Hmm.
Okay. You'd estimate there's maybe 50 to 60 Skaven armed in this hallway.
And they're all, a lot of them are pouring out of that side chamber over there.
There's a steady flow going in and out of the chamber to the tunnel to the southeast.
So the slaves that are in here, are they being actively monitored?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, there are groups of them. There are sections where there's like one guard for 3 or 4 slaves, and obviously he's not paying attention to most of them. Here and there, you see Skaven slaves moving around in small groups, carrying bags or boxes or whatever.
Okay. I'm going to walk back to the group real quick.
Okay.
Explain all this. And say, I think we should grab bags and shit and blend in.
Is there any in this area right here? Bags and boxes or anything?
Yeah, pretty much the Skaven really aren't keeping things organized. They're just sort of dropping things all over.
Perfect.
So yeah, at any one of the rooms, there seems to be an abundance of things. If you just want to pick up some random item,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Like a crate or small crate
Yeah,
or whatever.
something small. I mean,
Should we
it's
take the southwest entrance that's not being used in and explore that and see if that gets us to where we need to go?
Sure.
Instead of
Let's do it.
away from everybody, and we'll just hug that wall.
Let me go first. Right.
Alone, or like all
Well,
of
you
us in the
guys
group seem
can
like-
wait here, right? And then I'll go and see if they notice me. And if we have to, you guys can fight your way to save me. Or we go as a group.
Sure.
They're not going to notice you. You got this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
I can barely notice you.
You guys just hang out here. I'll go down to scout it real quick.
Wait,
and
you're
come back. That's what I did.
okay. So you and your halfling buddies head down that way,
Okay.
and the rest of you are just going to stay here in the hallway.
How many of the slaves in this room are non-rat?
How many? What?
Slaves in this room are
I was curious
non-rat.
about that.
There's maybe 10%, 15%.
Any halflings?
No sign of any halflings.
Do you want to
There's
I can't notice them.
it's all human and it's all Skaven.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab a big bag or something that I can conceal my weapon.
Okay.
I'll be hit.
That's not a bad idea. You're going to put your flail inside of a bag and then hold the bag. That's not a bad idea. I like that.
Can't exactly store it anywhere.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, we'll
Yeah, and I'm
we'll wait here like we're
Okay. You guys each pick up a bundle. We'll say just on average three bulk.
Okay.
Not that you guys are going to carry it around or anything.
I'll carry the equivalent.
I'm fine with 2 bulk in your case. Again, it's not like you're picking up some random gear
On
and
your back.
running through the place. It's
Yeah.
just as far as relative ability.
No, you're on all fours with.
I'm going to try to just walk my way through this.
Okay.
I'm going to have the hood down. I'm going to be hunched over and just kind of walking with my stuff.
Okay.
Going southwest.
Go ahead.
That's a big ass fucking hallway.
The unfortunate part about the tombstones
Oof.
is they look at me, I assume they have a really flat back.
That's the last you see at the hammer.
So you
Might
guys
hear
want to head back to
scurrying.
the sewers?
So what about this? This is that tunnel that everybody's coming out of right here.
This is the one everybody's coming out of and going into.
Okay.
And I mean, as you're moving your way cautiously down there, there's other Skaven that are going in and coming out. They all appear to be armed and armored.
Mhm.
Rarely do the slaves go down that way, but occasionally some do. Okay, that seems to be the main traffic flow.
The slaves that are wandering around, are they being actively
No.
guarded? They're
No.
just kind of left to their own devices.
For the most part, yes.
Okay.
Now, it seems almost randomly, one of the armed rats will strike, kick, or bite one of the slaves.
Yeah, just being assholes.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, if they look at them wrong, they do something wrong, or they're just in a pissy mood, they strike at them.
I'll try to steer away from all of those.
Yeah, they seem to be most of the rats, especially the guards and the soldiers, seem to be excited and or irritable. The slaves all seem to be malnourished and obviously mistreated.
keeping an eye behind us.
Okay. You
Right.
you hear movement coming from back there.
Start tapping. So
Yeah, Coif back up.
Okay. You gonna stay here in the hallway or?
I'm in. Move back
I
up
think-
here.
I think if we stand still, they're going to push us to do something. Let's just do our purpose and
Just
go.
keep following.
See me move.
Yeah.
We're
Grab
gonna,
some stuff.
Watch
Get
yourself.
moving.
we're gonna
So that passageway down there, Thad, leads into a side section of chambers.
Mhm.
Looks like some sort of an old workshop.
We didn't intend to not let you scout, but
So where are you guys going?
Grab some
same-
stuff and
same
get
place.
going.
He said
same southwest is the direction he went.
Okay, so you guys gonna head out and then try to work your way down there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a stealth roll for the group.
So who has the lowest stealth?
All 5 of you can roll.
Oh, okay. Any benefits for?
I thought he meant somebody's going to roll.
I'm
for
applying
them.
that. I need to know who failed by the worst.
Could I? No.
You can you can pray if you want.
Okay. I'll try pray.
Okay.
But yeah, I got the same people.
-5.
Okay.
You're getting so much more utility out of your prayers than the priest did.
Well,
Jesus. Ooh, crit.
Ooh.
So Jarman was one of the ones protected.
Yep. And then there was the fanatic and Andy.
Okay, so
3 worse.
I got a -0.
Thank God.
that's probably part of the reason why he's doing those.
No,
three.
I'm just doing the same thing. I wasn't.
Well, I understand that, but those 3 because you guys generally are going to have the lowest stealth.
The more money that you have, the better these get. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have more money to give you if necessary.
It's how it works. Yeah.
Okay.
I just
That's why I'm passing so well because Matt just gave me all of his money.
Right. It's just
I-
rubbing coins.
Ronald
I
is all
don't think
about the
your reply
gold.
gets to me when he has the worst.
No way, that's real.
I don't have the worst stealth. These
You
two
always
do.
wonder why my prayers are all of a sudden doing good. It's
Sure,
great.
no, my
You
stuff
beat
is
them by 2
Matt charged up the prayers.
Donation to the church.
Yep.
Yeah, so with the blessing on them, I'm the lowest.
Okay.
The highest.
You guys work your way down to that first passageway without much difficulty and manage to duck into it. You guys can go ahead and move. Some of the guards look in your direction, but pretty much none of them
man,
pay
that's a
any
big hallway.
attention to you. Either they don't see your passing, because some of you are undetectable, or you're not drawing enough attention to yourself.
Down here?
No.
First passageway
no.
over here.
Southwest. Oh, first.
Unless you specifically want to go that way.
I follow
This passageway over here. You guys can see the halfling going down. There's another section there. It looks like it's basically just a dead end. There's no sign of what it would have been used.
Oh, we
for.
see the halfling over there.
Yes, he's down there, but this first passage is the one that he described.
So
where you
what's at
guys
the
were
very end down here?
big flat rock.
Okay.
Big fat rock.
And
That's
then-
odd.
Is this the
It
one?
looks like it's structural.
Okay.
It's decorated with dwarven runes and markings and so forth, but there's no apparent purpose for it. It's not a gate or a door or anything.
German charges.
Yeah.
Aggressively down hallway.
So yeah, we just go in here and regroup real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I start searching the walls for secret doors.
Yeah.
Just because dwarves are sneaky like that.
That'll
That's what I was thinking about
that'll
the
take
big
quite a
door.
bit of time.
What all is in this
I'm
room?
waiting for him anyway.
Okay.
He moves slow.
Okay.
What all is in this room? Just
The
more random
entrance,
stuff?
the first room looks like it used to be a workshop.
Okay.
For some sort of engineer or caretaker. Some stoneworking tools, things like that. The room in the back looks like it was partial storage and partial sleeping quarters. All of it's been ransacked and looted.
How long has it been since the last playing of the bell?
Um,
How long did it take
15?
or gone?
I think for you, 22 minutes and 15 seconds.
16
So this
seconds.
little alcove here,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna start looking in detail around this
Mhm.
to see if maybe there's a lever or something like that.
Study through it.
Yeah, because I just feel like that's a fucking gate.
Okay.
Architecturally, it just seems weird that there'd be this little alcove. I don't know. That's where we start looking.
Okay. So,
Because it's not like a collapsed room or tunnel or anything.
no.
It's
No.
just a little
It's
built
flat wall.
alcove.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let me roll for everybody. Because I realized I had a tool that gave me a group check for everybody. So, yeah, you look through it. You don't find anything of note.
Hmm.
It looks like more of it would have been sort of like a workshop or like a workstation. or possibly a guard post. But again, there's no furnishings. There's nothing here to really give it any indication of what it would have been used for.
I'm gonna sit on this corner right here,
Mhm.
and I'm going to study this southern wall.
Okay. It's similar to the main passageway. It's about 50 feet tall, 15 yards or so across. I mean, it's massive. Fills the entire area with a single large carving of a dwarven soldier standing at attention. Looks like a older, mature dwarf, long beard, heavy armor, a battle axe, or at least an axe that is positioned on his right side with the hilt on the ground, but the blade's up by his head, while he holds a massive shield on in his left arm.
That's a strong dude.
Well, he is 50 feet tall.
Is the floor and ground just covered in refuse and piss?
Yeah,
and shit?
it's covered in debris and droppings and so forth.
Mm.
I mean, watching the rats, they don't seem to care or have any sort of self-control. They're very much like birds in that way.
It's like being on Skid Row.
Yeah, you see one of them relieving himself across the hall. He glances back in your direction and then just walks down the hallway. Apparently not paying any attention to you. The ground underneath it appears to be well-constructed stone flagstones.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the age, very carefully built and positioned.
Does it look like there's any wear on the stones?
That heading way off to the east. Oswald, you're heading
Yeah.
off?
Oh, I thought that was. I didn't see anybody else on the screen, and I
Got
thought.
left behind.
They went over this way.
Oh, okay. That's where I was. I thought.
Oswald takes a left turn.
I was like, I came back and I'm like, I don't see nobody.
I forgot to take that turn at Albuquerque.
Okay. All
I
right.
was thinking
Back
the
here.
same thing.
Oh, there's everybody showing back
Yeah,
up.
they're hiding in the back there.
Okay. Oh.
I didn't know if you were intentionally heading.
Yeah, I
off
was like,
on
oh
your own.
god, they must have gone forward. Okay.
Great
I'm
RP.
going.
And the opposite wall doesn't appear to have any levers
Nope.
or.
Nope.
How about holes?
I mean, there's cracks here
I was
and
hoping
there,
for
but
just
they
one.
appear to be more natural rather than any sort of pattern.
It's not during.
Definitely will wander into a graveyard and start digging.
Man, this bothers me. All right, I'm gonna slowly make my way over to here, just shuffle and try to be beneath notice.
Now, like I said, there is a fairly steady stream of Skaven going in and out of there. Again, they're not really giving you any attention.
Mhm.
It'd be easy enough to blend into the traffic flow and walk with the crowd or whatever. But depending on what you do and how you do it, you may get stuck going with the flow,
Doing the halfling shuffle.
if that matters to you.
It does. I'm gonna go back. I'm scared. And I'm gonna hang out here because I don't want to give away the group's location.
Okay.
So I'll just kind of hang out and like make it look like I'm fucking around with my ill-gotten booty.
Okay.
I implied that we're standing there.
Hey Matt, you're getting called.
Pinch it off.
It missed call.
Sure, it'll be okay.
It is weird though.
Those are amazing. Yeah,
Okay.
man, I love margarita stuff. It's fucking amazing, actually.
You sit there for a couple of minutes while the group is doing who knows
Gotta
what
call.
in the
Relieve
background.
themselves.
After
Somewhere out.
a couple of minutes,
Somewhere out.
there is a group of
I don't know.
Skaven over here that seem to be taking an interest in you.
How many?
Four of them. They keep looking in your direction.
Great. You angered the local king.
Nope. I'm gonna go forward up to here and go down this way.
Okay, go back down that passageway.
Yep. And I'm going to, as soon as I think I'm out of eye shot of them, I'm gonna fucking hide.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe over here in the corner where I was last time.
Sure. Okay. So the rest of you in this side passageway, Matt's been studying the walls carefully, looking for any secret panels, doors, etc. So far, he's come up empty. It'll probably take a good hour or so to search the whole place carefully. I mean, he's searched the obvious areas in the first room.
No, I'm peeking around the corner there, just looking at anybody that comes in the entrance.
Okay.
If anybody happens to come in.
Yeah. Nobody comes in. While you guys are otherwise paused in the distance somewhere, you hear the chimes of the bell ring again. This time counting only 8 times. As they start to chime, the activity in the main hall, you hear scattered squeaks and cheers come up. And they almost get more aggressive with the slaves. So you hear several squeals of pain and so forth from the slaves.
Nothing sounds like halfling squeals.
Not currently.
Since we're by the main chamber,
It's actually one of my customers. It's on
the
the
sound and everything, does it sound like it's
I
coming
know.
from
Middle
a
of
specific
nowhere.
chamber?
The sound of the bell?
Yeah, like the louder coming from one area versus the
Or
other.
right next to
No, it appears to be very distant. It's
Is that what it
just it feels more like it's echoing through the stone itself.
Okay.
Once the activity subsides,
Mhm.
I'm gonna walk my way back
Okay.
and try to make it back to where the group is at.
Okay.
You're snapping the distance. They walk towards you.
So the halfling eventually shows up. You haven't found anything. You've searched the main room, at least for obvious things. It'll take quite a bit if you want to do a careful search of the entire place, which I'm assuming you don't want to.
I'm
Guys,
only trying to keep myself occupied.
okay, so there's a steady stream of guys going in and out of this one room over here. I could go with the flow and probably get in there and not be noticed, but I did notice one of the Skaven take an interest in me, and I went and hid for a few minutes so that he lost sight of me, and that was right before the bell chimed. So, what do you guys want to do?
You could hide between us.
You didn't find anything of interest. You didn't find the crown. You didn't.
Nothing. I
You
swear to
couldn't
God,
find the crowd just laying there?
No stairs going up or
Do
down.
you guys know that these Skaven just like defecate themselves while they're walking?
I'm actually pissing right now. Just looking at him.
We're,
Man, that's terrible.
we're blending in.
I know. Yeah, I saw you were looking at that door.
Sliding right to the nuts.
Ow.
What?
Anything up with that wall?
No, I couldn't figure out the wall. I don't know. I don't think it's anything. If it's mystery of the dwarves,
Can I make a lore theology check to determine if it has any religious significance to
From
them?
his description, it doesn't have any
We
religious
might be
symbols
able
or
to do
indications.
is, since there's some human slaves in the room,
Mhm.
I'd be able to ask them and maybe try to figure out some information from them eventually.
okay, I'll try it.
That's one thing instead of getting sucked in.
As soon as he says that, I'm like, oh, it's a good idea. I'll walk away.
Okay.
Chaotic little halfling. Okay, so I look for the first human slave closest to me.
All the slaves seem to be working up here where the
Climbing the
digging
mountain
is.
a little bit better.
All right, I make my way up there,
Climbing the mountain itself.
and I'll look for the largest group of humans with minimal amount. I'm
Okay.
like literally doing the math. Okay, there's 5 guys with 2 guards, 3 guys with 1
Yeah,
guard.
there's maybe a dozen guards scattered around. Looking over out there, there's a bit of a dig into the mountain from that area. The slaves are actively trying to put like reinforcements up on the walls, things like that, wood timbers and things like that. Other slaves are piling broken rocks into baskets that they drag across the room to try to dispose of. A small number of them have what look to be actually pretty darn good quality mining picks, tapping away at the rocks.
Like dwarven mining pits.
Quite possibly, yes. It doesn't look like they have the strength to really wield them, given their malnutrition and general state.
Mhm.
But the picks seem to be doing most of the work.
Okay.
Okay. How do you want to blend into the crowd, or do you just want to go up to one of them and start talking?
No, I'll start grabbing smaller stones that I can lift.
Okay.
And start like I'll grab one and like walk with the guy and be like,
Okay. He's tapping away at the rock and everything. He sort of looks at you with this dead-eyed look and everything. A long beard. Obviously, he's been here for quite some time. It takes a moment or two before he recognizes that you're actually talking to him. And he says, "Shush, the masters. We don't talk."
Shh. Just listen. Throw a stone, I'll walk away and go grab another stone and come back. And every time I come back,
Okay.
I'll whisper to the guy.
Okay.
And I'll start asking him questions.
Okay. Give me a stealth roll.
Oh yeah, where he's like,
Everyone's having these big old rocks, and then Ben Stiller's like drops one tiny piece of coal in there. He's like,
that movie infuriates me.
Me too, but that's all I can see.
I thought you were referencing the map being a home for ants.
Yes, yes.
Where's my? Oh, there it is.
How can you fit so many in here?
That's right. What do you think? I'm stupid? School for ants.
I'm just getting a general idea of how long it's going to take before they start to notice you.
That's fine.
Okay.
Mind you, I am wearing one of the cloaks.
Yeah.
And I am beneath notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Pacing, infuriated.
What are you doing this for?
the rat man
Get loud.
made us come here. He's whispering, but
Yeah.
I'm talking so you
Where?
can hear me.
From where?
From the underground. I've been a prisoner for
beat up against it.
I don't know how many moons.
I'd be helping him out.
You look like you've been here a while.
No.
What year is it?
I'll tell him whatever year it is. 'Cause I don't know.
Says no. That can't be. That would mean 10 years.
No, it hasn't been 10 years. I promise you it hasn't been 10 years. I reach into my pack, like you slide a hand.
Is Altdorf still around?
Yes, of course. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to rescue you guys. Shh.
Okay.
And I like reach into my pack and pull out some rations.
Okay.
And like try to slip him some rations.
Okay.
And
He takes it. Stops working. Starts nibbling at it.
just keep swinging the fucking mallet. Keep swinging the pick. You're gonna get caught. And I turn around and walk away.
Okay. Yeah. He stops working and eats. Okay.
I'm gonna get us all killed.
Yay!
I'm sorry, George. George is over here screaming internally.
You won't get us all killed.
I'll get myself killed.
Because I'm about to be like, screw that.
I was moving to the edge. It's so I could try to stay in the shadows,
Where's the
but
bell?
kind of see in here.
Where's the bell at?
The bell.
Yes. The bell that you keep hearing.
Above.
What's it for? Do you know?
It's. I know the rats get excited. I don't know. I've never been beyond this level.
Do you know where to go up?
Well, no. I sleep there. I work here.
Has anybody else that you know in the group been up top?
There were some new prisoners that they brought in yesterday. They came down from above, but most of us have all been here for ages.
I'm here to stop the escape. I have friends. Don't say anything to anybody.
You have
I don't know why I'm
friends.
telling you this. This is bad.
You have friends.
Yeah, these two.
It seems like you
Even
can
the
believe
slaves
it.
find that part.
Not that you have friends, but that you have friends here.
Mm. Do you
Still
really
like fun.
think I can snuck in here by myself?
She ready?
Yeah, these two have been helping me.
One of the other slaves next to him says, "You're from the outside.
Yes.
Do you have more of that food? They don't feed us."
How are they alive?
Corn. They eat each other.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah, I give him some.
Okay. He takes it. He
recruits.
he has food.
Oh, shut up!
One or two of the other slaves look up. They lower their picks and shuffle over towards you. You're rapidly getting a small crowd of slaves around you.
Start killing him.
He's popular.
You do notice some of
You
the
do
skin-
have-
No, I just walk away.
Okay.
These fucking retards. I walk away.
They've been a slave for 10 years.
In this hallway.
Yeah.
Smart, like,
So-
without food, starving.
yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody walks up and says, "Have a hamburger."
Yeah.
They've been a slave long enough that there's been like 3 different families of rats that have been here, died,
Now,
moved
what you
on.
don't realize is their corpse rations. You're just feeding them the same thing they've eaten, but it's in a
They
different
now
form.
worship a halfling
No,
god that fed
feeding
them
them
more than
my
they've ever
food.
eaten
Yeah.
in their lives.
Exactly.
I don't
So-
eat corpse rations, retard. So I walk off.
Okay, you walk off.
I did like it's
Yeah, they don't get very far given that they're chained in.
okay.
They stop. They seem to be like
He showed up.
moaning and reaching out towards you.
Sorry.
I try to blend into the crowd. I'm out of there.
Give me another stealth roll.
Fuck you, you slaves. It's why you're slaves.
Didn't we discuss it with putting them out of their misery?
Yeah.
Dude, I almost pulled the dagger.
We're gonna bring this entire mountain
I almost
down
pulled
on
the
top
dagger.
of them.
I don't remember this conversation.
We're
Not
going
great.
to blow up the cannon and bring this entire mountain down on them.
Nope. I lost my connection apparently.
You rolled 1 point higher, 1 point lower.
Okay. Go on, reconnect game. Anyways, yeah, I take off. I go look for
Okay.
another group
Okay.
of slaves to go.
That seems to be the humans, at least in this area. I mean, everybody else pretty much is Skaven. These seem to be more capable, or at least assigned to this task.
Remember, he said there was only 10% or so of this
Yeah,
slave.
not very many.
Hey, you're standing next to Black Tower.
So you disappear into the crowd as several of the guards approach. You hear them yelling behind you, and then you hear what sounds like a brief combat. As several of the slaves are cut down for having put down their picks, and the rest are urged to return to work and continue with what they're
Is
doing.
it pick a hand?
More food.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's like the pig is considered a two-handed weapon.
yeah, actual pick
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Oh, never mind.
More food.
So,
They don't seem to catch you or pay attention to you, at least with your abilities.
mhm.
You blend into the crowd without much difficulty.
Right?
Okay.
To the north, these other passageways.
Hold on, I
I know
gotta
that.
close and reopen
Okay.
because
Did you ever get identified about the type of metal?
The main thing, once you come back in, the northern end of the main passageway
Yeah.
is a similar structure
Oh, the
of
way
a
he
giant dwarf on
described
the
it.
wall.
Okay.
Okay.
It leads me to believe
There are a
that
couple of
some
side
this stuff
passageways
is cutting
that
through
appears to
arms.
be being used for
You should probably
not necessarily barracks, but
sharpen.
resting areas for the Skaven warriors.
Okay.
Alright.
I got completely rebooted.
Why don't we head towards
Can you kick
where
me out
that
of Foundry?
collapsed area
I can.
was?
I will move you down to where the group is.
Partially.
So several minutes go by. There's some sort of a scuffle in the northern end of the passageway that draws some of their attention.
I did.
Reload.
At least
Careful.
briefly disrupting the traffic flow through the eastern tunnel. A moment or two later, the halfling comes scurrying out of the crowds and the group and returns to you guys.
So this tunnel here is where the
The people where the rats have been coming and going from.
Wait, right here?
Yes.
See, so you're locked off. It just has to.
So do we just wander through there?
I'll skip it.
Like I said, the main concern there is there's enough foot traffic that it's not like the other passageways where you're alone for several minutes and then
Right.
somebody wanders by. There seems to be a fairly steady flow. So once you're there, you sort of have to go with the flow of the traffic, or depending on the scenario, risk at least drawing attention to yourself.
And
What and there was nothing up here.
yeah, what's up there?
What was up where?
Right here. Did he go?
That's where they were doing digging.
Oh, I
That's where
thought
the slaves were.
Just
I thought that
digging.
was the next spot.
So,
let's go to this.
I'm back down with the group, right?
Mhm.
Okay, guys. I'll talk to the slaves.
Did you go to this? Did that check this place out, or
No.
the one right across from it?
No.
Yeah, there or
Those,
That's where the-
those areas where what he reports is that's where the warriors are resting.
Okay.
Not necessarily in barracks per se,
Both sides.
Just
On the left. On the right-hand side is all part of the digging.
That's what
Let's go
area.
with the perfect area. Follow the path.
Still
What
shows
about
me
right
logged
here?
in.
That
Got a wall.
Just
Give it a moment then.
Yeah. I've refreshed it like 20 times. It's not. That's fine. At this point, I'm kind of like, I'm not going off by myself anymore.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay with the group because I just got a couple of dudes killed. I'm a little bad about that.
Are
You don't,
hey, they had to
you
let
don't
us
feel
know.
bad. You lost your dog.
Right. They,
Oh,
they
which
ate
one,
well
that
before
one
they
all the
died.
way up? Is that what you're? I don't know.
I'll stay with you.
Like, you
Well,
didn't-
Are we good to go with the flow?
Yep, hold on. Go ahead, Matt. Whichever.
I kind of want to know where these other little passageways, like the one at the far end.
There's one all the way up.
Did
here.
he get up to that?
Yeah, he didn't go all the way to the end on the left, but all three had similar activity.
Oh, okay.
Where the Skaven were sitting? It's
Right.
like warriors.
So there's digging going on in here,
Uh-huh. It
or
is
we can do the power path where everybody's at. Try
really
it.
about it.
And the digging, like I said, is predominantly the focus seems to be they are shoring up the tunnel
You two swap.
and reinforcing it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
It doesn't matter right now. Whatever. So you said all three of those passageways on this side
Yeah.
are guard posts?
No,
And there's
they're all
sleep.
sections where the rats, the warriors, are using those areas to rest and relax.
Yes. That's
Not guard posts.
okay.
Makes
Relaxation. I
difference.
guess.
Correct.
All right, little man, let's go.
Yep.
Go with the flow, I guess, because there's
Okay.
nothing to find here.
We're trying to shuffle together, right? As like the group,
Okay.
like we're being led.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you guys all sort of blended together. I'm just going to consolidate the group as far as positioning, just so that I can move you through the board. Okay. So you guys go over here. You pause for a moment as some Skaven come by. Pretty much not giving you any attention whatsoever.
Oh.
And then they lead you in down the passageway into here. You see a small alcove to your south, a passageway over here, another passage over here. The main traffic flow goes in this direction. Okay. I'm going to just continue giving you description and move you guys along, unless you specifically want to do something different or separate yourself.
Do we see anybody in this area off to these two little passageways where there's other types of Skaven than the basic grunts we've been seeing?
No.
Okay, that's
No,
all I
nothing unusual. The southern passageway here doesn't seem to have much activity at all. The one over here, you see a couple of soldiers seemingly guarding the passageway.
Interesting.
Okay. But most of the flow of slaves and Skaven are going in this direction.
observation. When I noticed the guards go over and fucking hack down the miners, did anybody else really pay attention?
No.
So none of the other Skaven went on alert when they heard the combat noises.
There you
Correct. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of queakish
Mm-hmm.
being squeaked out. So and I don't think you understand it. So I don't know. You wouldn't necessarily know what they were saying, but yeah, the other guards didn't really react per se. I mean, it wasn't silent by any means, so they were certainly aware something was happening,
Yeah.
but that was about it. They didn't care.
Okay.
if down any of these side passages that show up,
Uh-huh.
if there's any ladder steps, anything that's going in an upward direction at all, I'd break off immediately.
Okay.
I'll tap him and
Okay.
That
So-
or the idea of a leadership cast, some sort of my thing.
You guys get here.
Huh?
Passageway shifts and turns.
Hmm.
It goes past a support pillar here, where there are several piles of not debris, but of storage and so forth gathered up in here. You go around the corner here, and most of the traffic is going off to the left down this passageway. To the right is another opening into a tunnel, and there's another 2 guards positioned there, keeping the traffic going the other way. Okay, they don't really seem to be paying too much attention, but obviously it'd be difficult to get right past them into the opening. As you guys go by beyond it, You don't necessarily see anything other than there's a table or two set up in the next room and several more guards sitting around drinking and eating in there, and some other side passages back there. Okay. Up ahead, as you come around the corner, the main traffic flow continues to the northeast. There is another side passageway here, and there is a Skaven in robes next to it. And as they come through, you notice that the slaves are pushed northeast, where all the warriors pause, talk to the guy in the robes, and then head down the side tunnel.
Well, this is gonna be a problem. Crap.
What do you guys want to do? You have maybe 5 seconds or so to decide.
How many warriors around this?
Dozen or so amongst the crowd, plus that large group to the south.
Keep going with slaves.
Yeah, keep
Yeah,
going.
just try to keep going
No
slaves.
point in suicide just yet.
So, is there? So, I do have a couple questions
Okay.
before we start wandering off. So is there anything like large hanging from the roof?
No.
No. Okay. No, like okay. Or is there anything like you talked about how everything's like ramshackle and stuff like that for some of the supports? Is there like one that's like tied together by like rope or chain or something
No,
like that?
the supports and the structure, the architecture, seems in really good condition.
Okay.
The dwarves apparently built it very well, and the rats haven't done a lot of damage. Other than the earthworks outside where they were digging and doing some reinforcement, everything else, although it looks old and not maintained, it still is dwarven architecture, dwarven solidity.
I didn't know if there was happened to be like say a big stack of crates tied together that if the rope would become undone, it would collapse on the distraction.
There could be, yeah. There's piles of that all over. So if that's something you want to do at some point, certainly there's
Well-
plenty of supplies and so forth. On the roof, the only thing of note are iron bowls that have coals and are putting off the green light,
Okay.
that sort of thing. But the roofs are good 15 feet up for these things that they keep lit.
How tightly compacted are the slaves?
You guys are blending in as far as it. You're not visibly a different mob, but most of the groups are only 2 or 3.
Oh.
I mean, you're a larger group, certainly. But again, you're not walking in formation specifically like a 6-person grid.
It's your expressed interest to go to the
I
side
was just-
area.
Almost Lord of the Rings style barefoot and samurai.
I was
It's
thinking,
the
like,
looks.
is it
Kinda.
is it hide of slaves or more?
No, it's not a hard press of slaves all over here. There's maybe a dozen or 2 coming and going through here,
Got it.
and there's Skavens coming out in the same direction. You're passing some as you go down the passageway.
Just out of curiosity, since there's these big bowls hanging from the ceiling, they had to light them somehow. So are they on chains that have some sort of a way to lower it? So up to the side.
Yeah, I would buy that.
So there you go for that too.
Yeah, like I said, depending on how creative you are, there's plenty of options for
Going
distractions.
down the tunnel with the road guy.
I don't think that was our plan currently.
No. Not yet. but
That's only
You
one
said
part.
the road
Right,
guy
the-
is down
the
here, right?
traffic flow has sort of carried you along at this point.
Yeah, but we're talking about a distraction.
Right.
Why?
I think they're just establishing future plans.
Okay.
It was the case of if people had interest, down there, because I think there was a couple questions of like how many guards were there and stuff like that.
You
So I
said-
took
you
that
said
as
the-
the interpretation.
You said the
So I
road
was
guy
asking
was right
if
here.
we ended up
The
doing
what?
it.
Yes.
The road.
Yes.
Let's just follow
Is
this
this the
lady.
same one we saw up front
No.
taking off?
Maybe they're going up.
Similar. Is he similar to the one up front?
He's dressed in similar rows. Doesn't look like him at all. Doesn't have a
Okay.
long nail.
he keeps his nails down.
He does. Okay, you guys follow the flow over here. Nothing but slaves down in this section. Follows around the corner here. In the back, there is off to the east. There's a couple of slaves that are injured and are trying to rest.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the main traffic flow heads southwest through the tunnel into another room.
I go over towards the slaves.
Okay.
Wait,
The
what?
injured slaves.
Before he does that though, what's this? Is that guarded? Because that looks like it goes the exact same way we were thinking about what to go.
Yeah, and if you look at the end, looks like
It's
the
got a
right.
staircase.
What about off the side of here?
That's where the injured ones are.
Injured
And
ones are.
you actually look outside of the map instead of just like a couple feet.
Yeah, well done.
That's not helpful.
I'm just like, literally zoomed out.
I would be zoomed
This
in.
is a really big.
Slaves mean nothing to me.
Right. Me,
Let's go.
we're going for the because we want to
Stairs.
go up. That's what
Keep
we're
going.
looking for.
Keep following the flow.
No,
No.
We don't even have the explosive keg. No,
Alright.
wait, you mini
we're not
bombs.
really talking, by the way, but we're doing all of this. Otherwise, we draw attention.
Yeah.
So
Go for the stairs.
I go over and help the slaves.
I'm
I'm gonna try
Okay.
to see if I can tend some wounds.
So the halfling separates from the group, heads over here to the slaves. The rest of you are going to continue down the passageway.
Well, it looks like we can come down this
That's where
passageway.
that's where the traffic flow is going.
Oh yeah, we're doing that. Then.
Oh, all right.
It's down there.
And we still have the
They're all
mini
walking
bombs that are.
Okay. You see the group. You separate from the slaves fairly easily.
Mhm.
You see the rest of the group continue on. You have an opportunity if you wish to catch up. You still can.
Yeah,
Or
fuck
you-
it.
Okay. I just want to give you the opportunity. If you want to deal with the injured, you can.
It's not sterile, it's giant lever.
That's what he said.
Okay.
Human slaves or rat slaves?
Majority of them are rat. There are some human. Again, about 10%, 15% are human. But these seem to be the ones that are in the worst shape and or are injured, but still able to move. Okay, all of them have injuries, like a broken arm or things like that. But your interpretation should be more of these are still viable as a slave versus they broke their leg and now they're
Poor
lame.
quality slaves.
Sure.
Non-existent slaves.
Okay. So you guys head down here. A short distance past, you see warriors, the Skaven soldiers, coming into and out of the side tunnel. Down here.
Mm-hmm.
And
this
blending into the traffic flow. Yeah.
I'll stutter step to make sure that the next group of soldiers.
Oh yeah. All
That
the
comes
slaves are sort of giving way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Whenever they're
wait,
there.
let them go ahead of us and then get
Um,
in behind them.
The one or two slaves that are up there that don't, fairly roughly get slammed up against the wall, or in one case get stabbed, and so forth. Okay. That brings you down to here. Again, you can see the guards down this passageway, and ahead of you, the traffic flow goes up and into a circular section where you see stairs that lead up.
Nothing noble in this room?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay.
Or
Stay with the flow.
So you get to about here, there is a side passageway, and that goes down. You can feel cold, fresh air coming from that direction. You have a moment or two before the
I
traffic
break off.
flow heads up.
Which way?
You're going to head
Cold,
down that
fresh air.
side tunnel.
if he does that, I'll follow as well.
I don't want him near me.
Well, he follows you anyway. You don't really have much choice. Everybody
I
going that way,
contemplate
or
decking him before I get downstairs. I'll spin around and then keep on walking.
okay.
I'm following Austin.
So you guys head down that way.
These humans are weird.
It's just them.
You hear queakish voices down the passageway, but near the end. Most of the voices are behind you on the stairs leading upwards, but there seems to be at least a few down the side tunnel.
Is this still a flow of traffic, or no?
No.
This,
This
the flow
this
went
pa-
up the stairs.
Yeah, this passageway is empty.
Okay.
For now, nobody seems to have cared the fact that 6 slaves have headed down.
I'm gonna, since he's kind of now in the front, since he broke off, I'm gonna grab him and like slow him down.
Okay.
We'll come up to here, beyond the view of where anybody else is going to
Sure.
see us,
Sure.
and then he can break off and do his thing.
Keep a sack with you just in case you can.
Oh yeah, I still have my accoutrement. I'll just walk forward.
Holds his sack tight and moves forward.
Yes.
Accoutrement. He's speaking squeakish. I don't understand. Do it.
No, that's Bretonian.
Okay, so you're gonna head down to the end of the
I
bench.
see a brain.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna sneak forward and look around. What is this little
Just an alcove.
alcove?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't we move up to there?
Has a small basin that has dirty water. It looks like in it.
Could we move up to that?
You are free to move where you
I was
wish.
gonna say we're out of sight.
You are out of sight of the main
Okay,
traffic
that's
flow
all
on
I
the stairs.
need.
You are free to move if you wish. It's all a matter of how
Alright,
far
we
you
go.
want to go.
Is that still
That's
sees
as
the-
far as I.
You get out to the end. The voices of
Okay.
the rats get notably louder.
Mhm.
When you come around the corner, you see what looks like a guard post. There are 6 of the armed rats, plus another 2 standing at the walls, looking out through arrow slits that look out of the mountain over the surrounding area. That's where the fresh, cold air is coming from. From the looks here, they have a very good view of the surrounding area and the bright green light of the night.
Okay. I turn around.
Wait, hang on. So you said 6 of the armored ones, and the other 2 that were looking out, were they slaves
Yeah.
or are
the
also
door
remote?
open for them.
The what?
The door. We gotta open the door for them.
A total of 8.
So 8 armored.
Yes.
Okay, you described the other 2 like
None of them. None of
Okay.
them are slaves. These all appear to be soldiers.
Can't
Oh,
take 62 of them. Right.
And a bunny rabbit.
That's
62 and a rabbit?
I would expect that from him.
I have a 20 something.
Yeah, we're the same.
27.
No.
27.
Were
the most
they
brothers.
all dressed similar?
Yes.
Okay. No, there's 8 of them. A group of 6 and then 2.
Why would you put it like that?
Okay, what are they?
Because I thought there were 2 different types of fucking guys.
yeah, I did too.
So did I. But did you? What, was
They're
there
not
something
paying
to get to beyond them? I mean, is
No,
there
but they're
a
looking
way
outside.
out? We can,
They're looking outside this big window-like things. Like arrow slits, like dwarven arrow
so
slits.
nothing we can get out.
Or toss
You
them.
might be able to squeeze through.
I could probably squeeze through one of them.
Well, then keep this in mind for a way out in case shit hits the fan.
I could probably squeeze through.
Not for us. I'm talking about
Oh.
for you.
Okay, yeah, then not a terrible idea. I can follow my death.
Right.
Now,
I'd rather fall to my death than whatever the Skaven are gonna do to my ass.
thinking back, when you approached the mountain, there was no visible arrow slits.
Yeah,
It's dwarven.
I picked that up earlier.
Yeah.
That also probably means they
Okay.
work here.
The question is,
She's stealthy.
you don't think we could take 6 of them?
8.
8.
It would be,
Yeah.
It would be a hard fight and
And
a long
noisy.
fight.
It would be
There'd be
wild.
too much noise. Yeah.
And they don't really care right now. I mean, we just keep rolling up the
I was
stairs.
say if we were gonna fight these, we would have fought the ones in the
Right.
cornfield and all that stuff. We just
My thought process is, if we kill these guys, then we can look out those windows and see what's going on.
I don't care what's going on.
Is there
up there.
armor?
All right, let's
We
go
gotta get up.
upstairs.
We gotta
Is
Yeah.
it
get
basic
that
armor
cannon.
or is it distinct?
Because I
Well,
know
it's split.
from what
Okay.
I see in
That's right.
Stormvermin, I know what they look like in like Warhammer.
I hate that
uh,
so
Total
much.
War and stuff.
It's the same armor of the ones you've been
when
fighting
it comes to
before.
your kids.
It's as would it be
Absolute
distinctly recognizable?
Oh yeah, I know.
Wait, what?
No.
Ignorance is bliss.
As in,
Yeah.
if we were to don the armor,
Oh. Okay.
could we blend in as warriors at least until someone gets
Sure.
close and realize we don't have fur?
Sure. I mean, they have helmets and so forth, and that might be a viable disguise.
I thought about that earlier, and I was like, well, that's not for me.
Well, I was thinking that it just like also it's like how well could we fit in Skaven-sized armor and stuff like that.
Well, they have
it's
just really muscular human-sized
like,
bodies.
They
but-
have. I mean, they're a medium-sized creature. Anybody who's medium-sized, I mean, it might not be a great fit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's certainly an option.
I think it's fucking retarded, personally, that we can even like Skaven human. It's I don't know. Whatever.
It's a
I'm-
possibility.
We could carve their faces off and wear them.
I like that idea.
Aren't you a little short for a Skaven?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like stretching it.
It's actually not.
Like I said, I'm open to whatever creative ideas you want to come up with. If you want to disguise yourself as Stormburn, like I said, they're not really paying a whole lot of attention.
It's too hard to take off parts of their fur.
And we don't all have to.
Could we take 8 of them?
Yeah, we could take 8 of them.
It'd be a tough fight.
We can kill 2 with pretty good ease, and then it's a 6 on what? 7?
Don't count me into this fight.
Okay. 5.
Don't
We don't
count
have
me.
7.
Listen. I know you're new to this.
Professional guys.
No.
I've seen
I've seen him kill 2.
Absolutely, I've killed some before.
Really, it's gonna be
No, you didn't.
After they've been
After-
badly
after-
mauled, laying
after-
on the ground, he walks up.
Saw him kill
on a serious note. It's really gonna be 1, 2, 3 on 7 while we hold the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
And you guys don't have the distance anymore to protect you.
My main concern is attacking the storm room and stuff like that's cool, but because of their weapons, you have a degrading
Yes.
hit DR.
They like to
Yeah,
stab
you're
you.
right. You're right. You're really fucking yourself in the long run.
Yeah, mechanically, that's an issue too.
But then we don their armor and replace the ones we currently have.
Let's replace the plate with the shitty Skaven armor. No, okay, I don't like this idea. Let's go.
Get into that.
It was a bad idea. I'm sorry I said anything.
Can't believe it.
Why'd
Like
you
this
even
way.
Listen,
say
listen,
that?
he and I are the thinkers. You just are the doer.
Sit there and be pretty
The,
like usual.
the 4 of you are absolute
kidding.
fucking combat monsters
They
compared to
are.
the 2 of us.
I'm not worried about you. You couldn't keep a dog alive.
Oh!
As I stone
Oh,
you're like,
oh, my neck's getting real warm.
I go, I still got my Tamagotchi.
How does it happen?
That
Yes.
Andy, that is amazing.
He hasn't powered it up in 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get the skeleton inside of it.
Andy, that is amazing.
I think we could do it. I think it might cause a little too much attention all of a sudden.
There you go.
I don't think. I
No,
don't
let's
I don't think we
let's
can.
just go up the
I don't
stairs.
think we can. Honestly,
So
I
the
think
reason why I think we need to keep it as an idea for a exit is in the hopes that there's not 8 of them here if we come back.
Yeah.
In the hopes we still have the bombs if we come back.
dwarven
Blow a hole.
architecture.
From the inside out, they'll blow a hole big enough to squeeze through. Make a slot that's this big to this big. We might
They're
be able to squeeze
incendiary?
through.
If I can't
No.
find
This
Yeah.
shit isn't C4.
one of the dwarven
I
pits,
thought they were
anywhere,
High
like,
explosive.
even if I
The only place you
Same
saw
stuff
them
that's
back
was
there.
at the
Broke away.
digging area.
if I happen to see anything
Sure.
that has the dwarven markings themselves on it, I want one.
I thought about lifting one.
Hey, you told
made
us about these weak. You even mentioned these guys are all sickly, and we've all seen they're sickly and weak, but yet they were still able to break through rock with these things. Did it seem to you like it was a abnormal reaction between the pick and the rock? That the pick was like
I wasn't really
slicing
paying
through?
attention, but I'll tell you,
Why not?
those guys were definitely not strong enough to be doing the damage to the rock that they were doing.
We need to get some of those picks.
I
I
pick
agree with
you.
you, but the only place we've seen them is in the room with a bunch of fucking Skaven.
I got you. We spent a year here as a slave picking. I bet you we'd learn how to use it.
I'm gonna get jacked too.
Yeah.
A level 55 miner.
We all get the free career change to minor.
all the
Your plan at this point is to surrender to the
Yes,
state.
it's all too. It's
Yeah,
too-
I
it's a two-handed
hide-
weapon
I
that we all
hide
use
all of my
one-handed
stuff
now
and
'cause
they-
it was so powerful.
I'll tell you what, I'll
Doesn't
tempt
fun.
you. If you voluntarily surrender to the Skaven, I'll give you a free career change to minor.
Also, we're
Hold on just a minute.
we don't have to.
That's a great dark deal.
Yeah.
We're in a hole.
And I'm already in my
I
back.
go home, Jen's like, "What'd you guys do this week?"
We became
We
minors.
had
We
the
got
ground.
lucky.
It was like playing Minecraft.
We surrendered, and we were in an area where nobody else could hear. I think we're close enough to the action that if we got into a fight down here, anybody at the stairwell would hear it.
Mhm.
I don't think it's a good idea. Let's go up the
It's a good
stairs.
idea. Even where you guys are at, you can still hear conversation from the stairs. It's muffled, okay? But yeah, I mean, it would be a risk to engage in combat.
This is when I wish we were in Rolemaster with the sound barriers and light barriers that you throw up.
Hey,
If we had a wizard, we could.
On the side.
If we had a dwarf, we'd be halfway through
Oh
combat.
god damn! Yeah, your shadow wizard would have been awesome in
Yep.
this.
Cold and silence. We just murder everything in the home.
Ignore the fact that I could speak Skaven.
Yeah. Well,
Nah, we don't need that.
That would be.
Like,
Yeah, you were such a fucking scumbag. You probably would have sold us out to this kid for your fucking your college. So never mind. Fuck off.
I was
Not-
fully
Go
planning-
to the stairs.
I was fully planning on stealing the crowd.
What we need is just a dwarf that can't stealth at all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
can't.
Or a priest that would just have been like,
Wow.
fuck it, I'm fireballing all of this.
You need a dwarf who can't
Won't be
stealth,
able to, 'cause
but
we're
doesn't
on
take damage.
Right.
And he just takes the next
No.
week to get to where
could
you need to
comment,
go.
right?
Blast out a fireball.
Well, he'd have the
from-
halfling superhero or super healer behind him with his hand up his ass. You know, there you go, you're going. Puppet, you got this.
Oh, keep your heart beating.
Not
Back. Sorry.
size wise, that's not what you were pumping.
Anyways,
All right, moving on up.
yeah, we
Up the stairs. You guys going up the stairs?
we didn't
Okay.
that last
Supposed to
little
do
bit.
that action again.
I hate you.
You ready? Hey.
You know what? Now you know. If he really paid attention to what he just said, he educated himself about that.
I had to actually pull out that old commercial. I learned it from watching you, all right? I pulled it up on YouTube to show because I kept making the reference at home.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, what the fuck are you talking about, Dad? And I'm like, all right.
Give me just a second. Oh, I forgot that aspect.
What was it about? Smoking? I think.
Drugs.
Remember the really flat kid? Like, you're not yourself, Susie. And she was like all flat and inflated and sitting on the couch. God, I love that one too. That's almost as good as the eggs in the pan too.
Oh, yeah, the eggs in the pan.
That one was
It's your
great.
brain. Your brain. Your brain on drugs. Burn up dog.
Oh, sorry, I was just watching a different one.
That
I
was
thought
actually.
when she grabbed a pan and started smashing everything with it.
I actually have to
Fine,
admit
man.
that one actually it hit home for me when I was a kid.
You remember?
This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Like,
You remember that? Like,
Yeah.
that sticks with you.
It was a very effective marketing campaign. Scaring a bunch of white kids into not doing drugs.
Anti-Reagan.
Because that's all they would have worked on.
I grew up in a neighborhood where I had to go 30 feet this way, 60 feet this way, and I had cocaine, meth, and marijuana sitting out on tables. All I wanted.
You gotta lock their.
And that was it. I was like, all right. Nope. I watched way too much crazy stuff happen, and I was like, I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
See, I grew up totally insulated from all that stuff. And when I finally, like in my late teens, early 20s, got around it, I was like, this is awful. Why would anybody want to be around this shit? Because I'm like looking at guys just tripping balls, and I'm like, not for me, man.
Okay. So you should be able to see at this point.
Barely.
It's pretty dark.
It hasn't
Sure you
quite
do.
dawned
Does
on
the
me.
uh,
This is-
does the staircase continue up, or
No.
it's just a landing of this is the top?
It comes to a stop after maybe
It's
50
like our
feet
scale
or
is way
50,
off.
60 feet.
Yeah.
We are
Um,
huge.
You are?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just read.
Well, we're in escaping tunnels at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
We suddenly grew like 10 feet.
Yeah, we were. We literally could not fit upstairs.
Sure you could.
Nah, they just became halfling sized.
Oh.
They're dwarven
Hold
sized.
on.
You got this. What are you worried about?
Everything.
Save grid.
I need more money. I hid my powers.
Well, the 18 minutes
Everyone-
came out with the 18 gold.
Every one of his
guys.
sprays takes 10
minute.
gold.
That is a great concept for an upgrade.
Okay. We'll go with it for now.
You know, it's kind of like the idea. Sean implemented this fantastic way to cast spells in Rolemaster, where you could either be the bone caster or the herb caster, and you chose. It wasn't a matter of class. It was just like, hey, these are my components. I could absolutely see someone going, I burn cash.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's gonna be-
Oh yeah.
I would play
It's,
that.
You guys ever
Go for it.
see the game Skyrim?
Skylanders?
Yeah.
Ooh,
It was,
yeah,
little,
you know
it was
what
like little
shit for that,
guys,
didn't
and
you?
you put them on. And it was a Spyro, the dragon type
Yeah.
world. But the little guys would go on this little portal, and they would show up. And that's who you'd fight with if you want to swap out, like a fire guy or whatever. Anyway, one of the guys had guns, and that's what it did. The whole time he shot, it was like ching 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 ching, ching, and just coins flying as he's shooting stuff. I was like,
Ooh, what's that best $1.50 I ever spent?
Spyro.
Young Guns.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's got him in the nickels in it.
Yeah.
It is just that's where Spyro's from.
Well, Spyro's from.
That's a lot
where
better.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, Spyro's
There we
the
go.
original PlayStation, my friend.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Scale's still a bit off,
Hey,
but
we
at least you can see things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, most of us.
Most of you?
You're in a
I can't
wall.
see shit.
You're in the wall.
It's fine. I'll just look at the ads for now until things are more.
They're still scaving with us. We're still.
You are still following the flow.
Okay.
They come up out of this area. And there's another short set of stairs that leads up another 20 feet or so into a side passageway. Okay. So other than the scale, which for whatever reason is off by a factor of 2, doesn't really matter as far as this. Okay. Go ahead and you guys can follow the trail up to here, where most of the group heads left. Some of the warriors head to the right.
Is there cold air coming from either side?
There is.
There's still a wall.
No, but the temperature here is notably lower.
Oh, you just
How
straight up
many?
don't have
How many
visibility.
warriors
I don't have
just
visibility,
moved off to the right?
You don't have any visibility at all.
Nope,
Nope.
I'm in pitch black.
I thought it
You're out in the hallway right now. You can
Yeah.
see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at his and moving my guy over here. Oh God, there we go.
Yeah, hold on.
So I have to ask a question. You said the warriors were going right while you're doing
No,
that.
some of the warriors are going right, a small
You get
portion.
back.
Almost all of the traffic flows to the left.
They're just falling through the floor.
Are you able to see now?
Nope.
Okay, on mine, you have normal vision.
Let me refresh.
Yeah, continue to the left.
My son has the exact same knife, but a smaller version.
Yeah, I got this.
Where
one
did you
time.
even? Where did that
I've had
come
this thing
from?
I've had it in my
China.
better for like fucking
It must be hard for like
Welcome
him
to a
use.
person that was in the military.
17
I know,
years. I've
it
had
must be
this.
hard for your brother and him to use the knife at the same time.
I say, well, my brother.
Mine's
That's
not-
my. Did I say brother?
They got to share.
Yeah.
Mine's more
I meant son.
colorful.
Yeah, mail it
His
to each
is-
other.
Decorative.
I had
So I'll
salt,
move to the left with the
multi-tool,
the rest of the scavenging.
back when salt
Okay.
was expensive and cool. It lasted all
What does
3
it look
months
like
before
the
5
chamber
years.
to the right is?
You know,
The chamber to the right looks like it used to be an armory,
Okay.
weapon racks, things like that.
And I wrecked everything went fucking this.
Okay.
yeah, well, it was cool.
You head off to the left. At the passageway to your right, you can hear Queakish. Sounds like some sort of an argument. To the left, you see a massive chamber, massive auditorium, carved with dwarven runes along the ground in very large size. 4 or 5 yard wide pillars supporting a vaulted ceiling that goes up maybe 80 feet or so. This looks like a grand entrance. At the far end of the chamber, you see a pair of massive stone doors carved to look like a dwarf soldier that splits down the middle, and 2 statues of Grugny on either side, similar to what you saw at the main gate
From the opposite
From
side.
the opposite side.
Okay.
Okay.
Before I go
The
anywhere,
place is filled with rats.
Yeah.
before I go anywhere, if I turn left, before I go left with you,
Mhm.
all I wanted to do so I could see the chamber that he asked about is go a little bit, look inside,
And turn. Yeah, you glance in there.
Yeah.
It looks like it used to be an armory.
Yeah, like this. Yes.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. The inside there, it looks like it used to be an armory. There are weapon racks here and there, and there's quite a few Skaven weapons occupying the various racks at this point. There are several warriors in there. One of them looks in your direction and hisses.
I duck my head down and move back this way.
None of the slaves seem to be going in that direction.
I will go just up here because you said I heard an argument up here.
Mhm.
I just want to peek around the corner.
Okay.
Do I see any
Oh, I
see who's
slammed on
arguing?
top.
You see shadows in the room beyond, around the second corner, and arguing. Doesn't sound like they're armored.
Ooh.
Does it sound like squeakish still?
Yeah. Yeah, the only language you guys have heard this entire time is Queakish. Very rarely you'll hear something in Reichsfield, but it's mainly directed at a slave that they're kicking or otherwise.
That's
I'm going
impressive.
to. I want them to obviously see I'm going this way,
Mhm.
but I'm going to go further up this way to the next corner and try to.
Okay. You go around beyond there. Yeah.
I want to pause you real quick before you go any further. I want to poke my head around this corner into the armory,
Uh-huh.
right? And like, I want to stealth up. I don't want to,
Mhm.
because I want to see if there's more than just halberds in there.
Mhm.
What?
There's a variety of hand weapons, halberds, some armor, things like that. Looks like a spare equipment for the Skaven gathered here into this armory.
Well,
Weapon team.
I've heard rumors of really interesting weapons at the start.
Third.
The weapons have like any poison blades or anything like that.
You gotta start wandering through. There are several soldiers in there, tending the gear and so forth.
I mean, you've already.
I'm gonna
And-
I'm gonna move over to him.
He's gonna head down the other way.
Oh, look at me.
You're fucking impatient. All right.
I'm not even the furthest away. I'm next to him.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Andy's heading down his own tunnel.
I'm following.
The one with the most is him. I'm just a little ways, you know.
I'll try to catch up to them.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you've already been hissed at by one of them.
I got his head.
Looking in there,
All I can think of is, like,
there's a large stone table on the center.
claws.
A variety of what looks like dwarven artifacts gathered on the table, and 6 or 7 robed rats, all arguing over the pieces that they have.
Do I see a crown on the table?
Now, all of it appears to be stoneworks. None of it looks, at least to your eye, as particularly valuable.
Does it look like there's another exit out of this
No.
room?
I'm behind you, for the record.
Do I catch up during his indecision?
I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah, you catch up. The two of them are you see. You know, 2 of them are gone. You're not exactly sure where.
I'm trying to listen to see if it's an escalating argument, like
No.
they are not to the point where they're going to come to blows
It doesn't seem like they're arguing in anger. They seem to be arguing over opinion.
of what it is. Gotcha.
Do it. Please don't do it.
But I did see there was like hundreds of rats out in the.
There are a large number of
Rats
rats
out
in the
in
main
the-
room, just around the corner.
You
You do what you want. Not to mention, there's a relatively steady flow going past the group.
Just doing something.
Gonna roll up the 100s.
I meant to just roll the first one. Okay. All right. I will move back.
I mean, if this was the elf, he would have already attacked.
I know. I know.
Oh, we would never
So
get
I
to
will-
the first room.
Yeah.
Talking
I
about.
will move
It's
back
frenzy.
to the group and
You see it enemy.
Uh,
I attack.
Well, the fucking thing with
I-
the elf was he probably could have killed them all.
No, we couldn't.
No,
No.
That dude was a
What?
monster.
not a
Well-
head. He would have been cut down fairly quick.
as we're flowing, I'll whisper to the 2 closest that him and Renaud's boy there, Borders, that a whole bunch of the road ones, but I want to kill them all. But I should.
Because they're smart.
And so, no, because they're smart, you jerk. I'm smart too.
What if he rolled a
Go down
grenade
the hallway too.
Peer over where they were at.
as
Sure.
a distraction?
You're smart in your
But then
own.
everybody can hear in there. I could hear everything going on out here.
Oh, I'm not saying it would
What's
be
there?
here. I mean, the whole fucking place would
Assuming
be an
if I can see
explosion,
them,
but
do they look
you don't
like
come
they're-
running to this spot. We
Do
can just
they
leave.
look like they have any keys,
No,
different stuff like that? Okay.
no. I mean, they're covered with various trinkets and totems. Nothing that looks like a key.
Okay.
Could you light one and just roll it in there, and then
A grenade?
we?
And just roll it in there? It's not like
Oh.
it's stealthy when it goes off.
Right, but we're already gone. You roll it. We go up the stairs.
How many are there?
There was like
What's the
7
distraction
or
for?
7, 6 or 7.
And how many people can?
I'm trying to find a way to justify killing these guys.
How many can you?
There is
of
no
us can
way.
make invisible?
I'm sorry, what?
How many of us can you make invisible?
No guarantee I can make one person invisible. Max,
Saying your magic's unreliable?
it's not magic.
It all depends on the.
Dear God.
We have
Yeah.
three
Well, depends how
different
much Rob
gods.
likes
I
you.
realize.
He likes Matt right now.
Sigma, Ulrich, and
So we know there's no. We know there's. You
Such a
said,
weird
Did you tell us there's no keys or anything like that that we can get off in there at the moment?
They don't have any keys
Ugh.
per se.
Okay. Well, then, do we go further up? Do the stairs here? They go upward.
Yes,
Fully agree with you.
they go from the main hall leading up.
Are any slaves
Is-
going up that?
None of the slaves are going up there. There is a large group of slaves currently being led through this tunnel under guard.
It's almost like we have disguises sitting in the next room.
They look like they're fresh arrived.
The problem is they make too much noise. They don't alert the guard.
Where are we in relation to the pit area that bodies were being dropped down? Down.
we don't know.
You can judge that based on the previous map and your experience.
I think it's probably where they're
So my
they're heading them.
interpretation would be it would be farther top left of the map.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
because
I think we're anywhere near it.
they're injured. That's where they're taking a lot of the injured ones. I think.
The group that's being led there right now looks like they're fresh arrivals
Oh,
that have just come in. They're all chained together, similar to the group that you
Very
saw
far.
previously.
gotcha.
They're shackled to each other and, as well as to a central chain. They're being led in through this passageway, and you can hear a fair bit of noise in that direction.
What's fancy up the stairs? Is it just like goes up the stairs till stairs?
Yeah,
Or-
it goes
Nothing
up
there.
to a higher level.
Okay. I didn't know if there was like a big double door that.
How close are the bells to ring again?
And
At
what-
least based on prior bells. So what, 30, 40 minutes?
You say go over to here.
As based
No, I was asking.
Matter of
about
fact,
the
you hear
stairs.
the bell in the distance.
I was asking about the stairs right here.
Ring 7 at this
I
point.
didn't know if it like led up to like
It's been
doors or
36
just more
minutes.
stairs.
Still up or
Yeah.
down?
The bells.
Yeah. Is it on? Doesn't sound like it's on the same level. Or
It sounds like it is closer. It's a little bit louder, but most of it seems to be coming from outside through the open main doors.
So this passage, have we noticed any movement here?
There is some traffic there, but not a lot.
we have to get as high as possible to destroy the weapon.
I agree.
And the bell sounds like it came from outside. It's
Yeah.
making me think that with it not having the same
look in
timeline, that
Is
actively
any dude wearing a crown?
It's the
Is
count.
there any dude wearing
I
a
agree.
crown? Not
I
in
think
this room.
the
That-
slaves coming in are being.
Not the right room, guys.
I think it's a count till more sleep reaches a
Any
point
of the
they want that.
Fresher slaves coming out
Any fresher slaves coming out of where?
where they're being led to.
No.
It's a sauna. It makes me feel better.
If it's relevant, through the open doors, the main gates are currently open as they're bringing other slaves in. You can see the green moon. It's up, it's full, and it's currently south of the mountain.
Can I see the? I'm assuming that it's the same door. Can I see the rat out front with
Mhm.
the abacus? That one same guy. Okay, so we know the area we're in. So no one's going up these stairs then
No, I look at you
at
at
all.
that point.
No.
That point up as I slide with past the group that's
Yeah,
right there.
there are guards on the stairs, but like I
Yeah.
said, there's nobody going up the stairs.
Oh fuck!
There will be.
That's possible.
Can you look up rat capture? What was the other one?
Is,
Tier one or
is now the
tier two?
time, or
Quick,
I
how
look at everybody?
covered up would be if we were to cover ourselves on the ropes?
So okay, the front.
How covered up would you be?
Yeah.
You-
Would
you
would
are
they be
covered
able? Would they be able to see the fur if we were to cover ourselves up? To see our lack of fur if we were to cover ourselves up in the
Do
light?
they cover the same way as the cloaks do that we're wearing?
Thank you. That's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
trying to get.
The robes of the 7 guys in that.
Oh,
room.
of those guys? No,
Yeah.
they don't have hoods.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we need their heads too.
So the front gate. So from what we can tell, those are the same front gates that we saw originally
should
when
check
we
around this.
saw
Appears to be.
This
See if it's symmetrical
place.
with the stairs.
You appear to be inside that main entrance.
Okay.
Be called way in.
How far out from the gates was the tree line?
I mean, I don't know what the
About.
traffic
There was
flow
no
is,
tree
like,
line.
They're going this way.
Okay.
The nearest mountain pass, or path, if you wanted to make a run for it, conceivably, maybe 50 yards across the open.
With hundreds of rats.
Yes.
With arrow slits that we know about now.
Yeah.
Stairs going up, guards there. How
Just having
attentive do
exit
they appear?
strategies.
They seem pretty attentive.
Okay.
They're not letting anybody up through there.
All right, so majority of the path, traffic's going that way.
Yeah, a group of slaves was just led down that way. There is some activity here, but all the slaves are being led through that northwest passage.
That's definitely continue.
I'm gonna head not to the northwest. I'm gonna head down this passageway and see
Okay.
if anything stops me.
No,
I'm right.
Can I
Staying
take
right
a,
with him.
can I take a
I am
quick
too.
look and see if
I
what
point
like what over
To
here?
this,
you're gonna head
Passage.
over there by yourself.
To which passage?
to this passage.
Okay.
Never
Yeah.
mind.
I'm open to whatever you want to do, but if you're gonna go over to another location, I just want to make sure you're going by yourself.
Are these are these up or down?
Those are leading up.
I just want to put
Probably
my
more
head in the
arrows
corner.
slits.
Okay.
That's why I have a
Um,
gate.
You poke your head around that corner. At the far end, you see the slaves have been stopped. They are currently being unshackled. And then fairly roughly tossed through here, through an iron gate, where they're locked into what appears to be a massive pen.
Okay. I will try to catch up to the group then.
Okay.
And when I catch up to them, I'll explain. Hey, look, they just put all those guys in a cage. So if we need to maybe make a distraction, or just be decent human beings and halflings, set them free.
And-
We know where they're at.
I guess a good chance to, yeah.
So
You move up these stairs. At the top is would have been a guard room. It's currently unoccupied. There's not much in the way of traffic coming up here.
Okay. I don't know if you did what I was intending, but keep going.
Several of the other group are going the other way.
I'm going the way he pointed me to.
Okay. You guys go over here. Couple of things. There is another gate right here at this entrance into the slave pens. There's a couple of Skaven guarding it.
Mhm.
And you can see several dozen slaves beyond it. Again, predominantly Skaven. About 10% or so are human, in better shape than what you saw below. Again, these seem to be fresh. And there's at least 2 or 3 dwarves amongst the crowd.
How many guards?
At that gate too. Okay. To the southwest, this passageway, you hear a low rumble like a fire.
I'm gonna try and stand. If something happens, we know what we're doing. But
Okay.
I'm going to, beneath notice, try to stealth over here and look around the corner and see if I can see the fire or whatever.
Okay. There is a steady glow in the area, and you see vast piles of what looks like coal in the place. The rumble is coming from further in off to your right.
You are aware of our movement.
Yeah, I'm seeing you guys.
I'm gonna.
You guys move into this other chamber.
Yep.
It looks pretty much empty. There's a flight of stairs that leads down off to your left.
Okay.
Couple passageway that leads out, and then one section that heads up again across the room. Haven't seen any guards or slaves in this area.
So this leads down.
That
No,
leads up.
up. This leads
This
down.
leads down.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Meanwhile, Ben, you are currently alone at this point. Trying to decide which way you're going.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a perception roll.
Okay. Actually, now I'm pretty good at perception. Doesn't matter.
Okay. You are startled when 4 of the Skaven soldiers wander into the room behind you. Look at you for a moment. Look back at each other. What do you want to do?
Quickly, like, hide my face. Try to. And okay. So you said slaves. Wait.
Slaves are coming this way.
Keep happening to me. I'm going to quickly try and like join like. So how long was the line of slaves or group of slaves like that were fresh?
There's about a dozen of them. There are no slaves in this room other than
Yeah.
you.
I guess I'm gonna try and I guess I'm gonna try and join the slave. Sorry.
You're gonna try. So
He
you try.
freezes in panic.
Yes, I.
He just pulls over and go.
Okay, so your intent is to walk past the soldiers and go get in line.
Nope.
What happened to our goat?
That's a good question.
We didn't
It
carry
froze.
anything with us. They just laid down with the rest of our stuff. at the bottom.
It's actually climbing up to the sewer.
We're gonna get to a arrow slit. There's gonna be a goat head looking in it.
We're trying to be super stealthy.
Is that where the bombs went? We strapped it to it and told it to
It
go
was
up.
about to go. It just climbed up to the sewer. It was fine.
Oh, what's taking him so long?
Yeah. Use those like half-inch little ledges and just here we go.
There, we bought you some time with me.
Yeah, maybe another fucking like 2 minutes to think.
Yeah, but he's too busy listening to us.
Guys
Okay.
are
So
hilarious.
you're standing in a room where apparently you're not supposed to be when 4 guards come in, thinking that you're a slave, and your response is you stand there in shock, and then walk past them.
How about this? I cower in the corner, attempting to.
Okay. You cower in the corner, pretending
Yes.
to be a slave. They seem very irate with you. Give me a charm roll.
I did it. Actually, nope.
Okay. They strike you. Doing 3 points of damage,
My stuff that's
minus toughness and armor on your body.
to a minimum of 1.
Yes.
Strike you realize they're covered in metal.
What the hell? Why does this slave got plate mail on?
Okay.
Oh, ow, ow, oh.
Yeah. They strike at you, and then shove you into the main room.
Just the bells ringing.
Okay.
Okay.
Clong.
Behind you, Oswald, you and the halfling are moving up towards that other area. You can see the halfling checking out the side passageway. The guards haven't seemed to notice him. You're still stealthy when you suddenly hear some shouting from behind you, and then see Heinrich being led off by several angry Skaven
Again.
into the main room.
Into the room we're in?
No.
Do they route him to the left when they get him out of the room?
You're not sure unless you want to
Okay.
specifically go after him.
Well, I'm just where I can see. That's what I was going by. That I can still see where he's at.
He's being led into that main room.
Okay.
You're not sure from there where he's going.
Well,
I look
I'll
at
wait
you.
to see if they
Points down.
return as he goes.
This
Okay.
passed away, by the way.
Okay, so they go out here,
Okay.
and we will resolve what happens with Ben shortly. Okay, meanwhile, the 3 of you are up here at the top. Which direction do you want to go?
I'm heading this way.
Okay, you're going to head for those stairs.
No, I'm following.
Okay,
What? I stop. As soon as I realize he's following me, I stop, turn around,
Yeah, all the
Okay, go back
religious
this
people
way.
went one way, and then these two went the other way.
Continues to follow you.
We don't.
Following
Okay.
Richmond.
I point my sword at him and say, I realize you strive to be as good as me
Half a taking
by following my every move. But please, it's quite infuriating. Either you check that passageway and I check this one, or vice versa. Pick one.
Split up.
Okay. I was following you to make sure all of those corrupt thoughts you have
I move down this way
get purified.
as he's talking.
I'm gonna follow the berserker because I want to follow in his footsteps.
I'm actively thinking impure thoughts just to see if he
Just to see if he comes.
If I hear him go, "Oh my god!"
Okay.
Yeah, I take a look at
I
this,
don't
right?
think it'll fit.
Right. Okay.
Oh,
So
God.
Stop where you're at.
That's what she
That's-
said.
Sorry.
You come around here. Inside that room
I love how everybody's
is
mind immediately went.
piles and crates of supplies. Compared to what you saw down below, it seemed to all be in decent quality, decent condition. Some of them look like they've been here for quite some time. Others seem to be fairly recent additions to the room. They are piled 15 feet tall in some spots, filling this room.
I've still got my bag to hide my flail. For
Sure.
Okay, then move myself up to match.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, Matt, you come around the corner at the top of the stairs. You see up ahead a sunlight and feel a cold breeze, and you see several other Skaven guards manning arrow slits.
Immediately, as soon as I see that, immediately turn back around because I don't want to draw their attention
Okay.
and step back down.
And push George down the hallway.
When I
Trip
when I
over.
say-
Trip over him like you do a cat, like it weaves between your
Yeah.
feet.
Hey, another one of those arrow slit thingies that the halfling was talking about.
I'm just gonna continue. I'm gonna look through,
You're gonna start searching through it.
see if there's anything else.
Okay.
Unless
There
one of them
are
turned out, so we're gonna have to go through some
the
doors.
place. Like I said, there's supplies and crates and so forth. A bit further back, you find piled carcasses of animals, goats, sheep, cow, etc. Most of which appear to have been here for a while and are rotting. And there's a thick cloud of flies in the room and maggots on the meat.
I'm gonna take one of my knives, slice across my palm, and try to effectively purify the carcasses.
Okay, take a point of damage.
Now, I'm bleeding myself, but I do have the talent implacable, which allows me to ignore the wound loss from a bleeding condition. Would that work for this?
No,
Okay, that's fine.
because without sacrifice, there can't be gain.
Good point.
And the animals start getting up and making noises.
and they all have Hep C. Okay.
Oh my god, that'd be so dark.
Spread your blood.
Amag-
The goat you brought with you. Hey! Hey!
what is it? The
No.
amygdalis or whatever it is?
It doesn't seem to affect anything per se, but you feel the place has been cleansed somewhat.
That's me.
Okay.
The goat.
Thad, what
Thank
are you
you.
doing? This
Okay.
group has successfully split into 4 groups now.
Yeah, no shit.
Let's make it 6.
I'm gonna go down to here,
Okay?
and you said there's piles of coal in here.
The room is filled with large mounds of coal.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear activity through this passageway here. Okay. It sounds like shoveling.
Yeah, probably just more slaves then.
Okay. And there is a steady glow coming from that direction.
Okay, so I go back to here.
Okay.
And I look over at him. Right? And I'm like,
Pointing towards the slaves or pointing towards the
the
back
guards. The guards.
Oh, the 2 guards over here.
Uh-huh.
I want those dwarves.
Okay. I will I'm gonna walk in and stumble over to them.
And as soon as he does that, I
As
pull
I'm-
out my sling. As soon as he walks
As
in,
I'm incredibly weak and falling down, all that good stuff.
Okay.
As I get to them, I pull out my sword
can I
and attempt to stab by surprise first. Oh,
hold on? As he's walking over there, can I start aiming at one of the?
Not if you're going to stay stealthy. I mean, you drop a stone into a sling and start spinning around. That's not really very
Especially
stealthy.
if you're trying to keep
Especially
an
if
eye
you're
on the
aiming.
aim.
It's an acrobatics game.
nah.
Let me show you a video of a guy using a sling.
Oh my
I
gosh,
know.
yes. I know what you're talking about.
I
know.
I've-
He has a whole body.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the concept of I drop a stone in and whip it at the guy. That's a surprise attack. If you want to take time to aim,
Okay,
that's
I'll
not
take the
gonna be.
surprise attack.
Okay,
That's fine.
That's valid.
When it looks like he's like 5 feet, like right when he's about to do
Okay.
his thing, I'll sling a rock at the other guy.
So I'm dropping all about. I'm trying to keep a deception, not necessarily stealth, but deception
Okay.
till 10 feet away or so, and I'm
Give me an acting or deception roll or charm.
Your
Your choice.
charm or entertain. There is no deception.
You know what's great?
Okay.
There's no act.
Charm or entertain is fine.
You and I.
Well, no, entertainment.
well. Entertain is fellowship, and so is charm. Perfect. Let's do this. Okay.
Completely untrained. Got it.
Yep.
Well, he also took penalties to his fellowship.
That was the other one. So.
Hey, best. Hey.
Holy crap! There's no way.
Wow.
No,
Wow.
there's no way. Okay. All right.
Okay. So
Better than me.
you stumble into the room, staggering and so forth. The
32,
Skaven
you're better
immediately
than
start yelling at you, weapons drawn and so forth. You obviously don't understand what they say, and you play that up.
Yep.
As you stumble towards them, and as they're just starting to react, you pull your sword out and slash at the first one.
and a rock hits the other one. Hopefully.
Yeah, simultaneously, the halfling takes a strike. So let me go ahead and have you roll initiative. You guys will get to go first on the first round.
You have distraction.
Do I? It's not necessarily a charge, so I don't
No,
get a
it's not a
charge bonus. Okay.
This is what happens when we like separate from the group.
You left me alone, guys.
And I'm not a good influence.
Unsupervised.
And they both are over 60.
Okay, so Oswald, you are the first to take your strike.
Okay.
Thank God for surprise rounds.
Oh,
No bonus though, right? Just a straight attack.
Straight attack.
Okay.
Nice.
This
Yeah,
is magical too. I don't know if that makes a difference on anything I'm wearing.
No.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
incorporate a +10. Is it a
Yep.
+10 weapon?
Yeah, you did 14 points to his leg, which.
What do you say? You don't have leg armor from what?
Yeah, he does not have leg armor. You slice the guy's legs out, and he goes down immediately. Coleman.
I'm gonna aim for the other guy. Aim for. Is he wearing a helmet?
They are. They're pictured with helmets, but they do not have helmets.
I'll try to hit him in the face.
It's later.
Okay, so you take a hold shot.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a
Helmet's
cold
on
shot on the
the
head. Surprise. Do I get a bonus for surprise?
Mhm.
How much?
And has the table.
70.
It's not on here.
So
20 for
Right.
surprise, minus 20 for the called shot.
Okay. I'll take the 0 then.
Nice.
Well, that's a good roll too.
Yes.
He takes it, giving you surprise, and you take him out. The rock to the
Master
head, he goes
Blaster.
down.
9 damage?
That applied the armor because it was on the leg.
Oh, yeah.
On
It's
the
a
arm.
cold shot. Yeah.
Right. He called shot, so yeah. You guys very dispatched the two of them.
Fucking
It goes down.
staffins.
I
We're both standing
Inside
on
the
game
cage,
like-
several of the slaves look up at you and said, "Who are you?"
I walk over.
I'm moving bodies to this corner here
Okay.
while he's doing this thing.
We're here to stop them.
You're here to stop the Skaven?
Yeah, they have some doom weapon up on the roof we're trying to stop. Where's the dwarves? Is it the dwarves talking?
No, it's a couple of. Oh, it looks like farmers.
I look at the dwarves.
Hey, beardies.
One of them staggers to his feet, wanders over to you. Says, "Oi, what are you doing?"
we're here trying to stop the Skaven. We need your help. We don't know anything about this dwarven fortress.
Well-
the kingdom sent us.
You got weapons?
Yeah. I pulled a sled out of the fucking guy's forehead, like, yeah, we got weapons. I
Is
pull out a
it-
dagger.
is
So I have
it a-
extra daggers.
Is it a padlock
You
or
got-
is it just
You
a-
got any good weapons?
start pushing the halberds through
Okay.
to the dwarves?
The halberds to the dwarves.
So there's a ton of Skaven in there.
Right,
dude.
they'll slaughter them all.
Yeah. You can see several Skaven slaves that are in there. They're noticing the commotion, obviously, as well, and seem to be moving away from the area.
Backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, the humans are very much interested. Again, these are
Yep.
fresh slaves. They're not used to this. The dwarfs obviously aren't interested in being slaves. Skaven slaves are much more of a. They've already been broken effectively. I mean, they're Skaven to begin with, so they're just the lower caste.
I start searching the bodies for a key.
Okay. Yeah. You find a key.
Do we let the dwarves and the humans out?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay. Now, what are we going to do with them?
We're gonna give them the weapons that we find here on the ground.
The two halberds.
Sure.
I have two
And what are you
daggers.
going to do with a dozen slaves?
Well, they're fresh. Well, they'll run out and cause a distraction, right?
Oh, we're so all gonna die.
Yeah.
Listen, so I want to
I
know.
would like to also
like-
mention that Thad was also talking about we could be decent human beings and let them out.
I'm fine with that. I'm just
Okay.
trying to understand. If you let a dozen unarmed farmers out, they will absolutely cause a distraction for about a minute.
Why are we
And
pushing
then they'll be
this? He's
dead.
already done this.
Okay.
Now hold on.
So,
At the very least, we're taking the dwarves out.
well, at very least, we need to know from the dwarves how to get to the roof without
Right.
taking those stairs. That's what we need.
Of the three dwarfs that are there, two of them are injured and really not in fighting capability, anyways. Okay. The third one is a female dwarf. She introduces herself as Hetri Bittercrag.
So she has a bigger beard than all of us.
Yes.
Like it.
Okay. She claims she's been a slave now for several weeks and was brought here after the Skaven raided their settlement some distance away. Since then, she's been trying to care for the people and so forth, but her family used to live here. She can provide some information if you can get her out. Her suggestion is stop the Skaven before letting everybody else out because they're just going to get killed.
It's a solid plan. I like the idea.
But more importantly, she's concerned about the Skaven slave who are going to rat you out very quickly.
How many of the Skaven slaves are there?
Well, there's about a dozen humans that make up 10% of the population.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I mean, killing everything is okay too.
Yeah, but I don't think we can because there's on the other side of the cage there's guards, right?
Yeah.
Where?
You're only at one of the entrances.
Oh, there's a whole other entrance.
In
Yeah.
fact, they probably already
that-
know at the other.
That's where they're heading. Oh, I
Okay.
got you.
Now, she says if you can get her out, she can help you.
Yeah. I unlocked-
Ideally, to have some weapons.
Two halberds.
Okay.
One, I got.
I unlock the door and let her out,
Okay.
and I have a dagger in my hand,
Okay.
and I'm like, I'll whisper to the humans, we will come back for you.
Okay. They all look very depressed as you close the gate.
Are the Skaven still looking at him?
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, that's a valid idea.
Anyways, Hetri takes the halberd, cracks most of the handle off, and wields it as an improvised weapon.
Any type of armor off from that she could throw on from them on the ground.
She has no interest in
Okay.
wearing
Didn't think
Skaven
so.
armor.
Take our rations, throw them in there. That'll distract everybody in there.
Okay.
They'll probably
Meanwhile,
put all the humans killed.
Ben,
Rations.
You're-
execution.
I'm captured.
yes, you're being led over
Sorry,
in
guys. By the way,
this direction,
That's like you motherfuckers.
If we eventually meet up,
where you
it
see
possibly won't
maybe a dozen or so guards.
Cool.
They are taking, as you're being led there, there's other slaves that have been lined up. They've been unshackled. All of them are stripped naked
Oh no.
and then thrown into the slave pen. Okay. What would you like to do?
Is there any sort of like crates or anything nearby, or
Sure.
like tied off so they don't fall, or something?
No, there's not supplies like that. Not here. I mean, there's a pile of discarded gear and things like that nearby.
Is the gate like closed and then they open it to let a group in, like push
Yes.
a group in?
Yes,
It's not just open and they're
Correct.
pushing people in.
correct.
The knife whispers to me, to you, you can do it. Pull your sword. Die by the blade.
They're actively looking at me, right?
You got 4 of them surrounding you. Yes, holding you and dragging you towards the guards.
George's old character gets disappeared for that year.
Okay. They get you. They get you
Could I-
to the end of the hallway, and rip your cloak off. They seem shocked that you're wearing armor and weapons,
Yeah.
for obvious reasons. Initially, they look at you momentarily with a bit of shock and surprise, and then they strip your weapons and rip your armor off and so forth.
There goes that heavy crossbow.
There goes that fucking chance of surprise you had.
And then they summarily
Okay, well,
throw you
I'm-
into the pens with the rest of them.
So I'm, yeah.
Okay.
Good thing we don't know where he's in there.
I know.
Yeah, nobody knows.
I know which way they took him.
He's the only one that knows that I even seen.
Yep.
So yeah.
Look over at you and you're like,
Bear with it. They haven't eaten you yet.
you know, I've been hanging out with my other friends on Wednesdays. It's just a.
Wait, were you referring to a gaming session or a Warhammer session? I haven't piped in to go.
I would have died
that,
right
this
then
was,
and there.
that
'cause
was
as
for,
soon-
that was
I've
for
been
one
like-
of our games.
I've been holding on to my
For
swords.
video games, we
Yeah.
have a separate. We have a separate chat that we probably.
I would have died.
Okay.
I've been fucking saying
So, since Matt's not here yet, again, Hetri explains she has some familiarity with the place.
yes.
She's been curious about this place. Although they attacked her settlement, she was heading this place anyway because she wanted to explore the Dwarven Hold, not realizing Skaven were here. According to her, the dwarfs toiled under the ground to raise up citadels such as this, making them their homes in the mountains. Stuff that you guys pretty much already knew. Carrick Skig was once the jewel in the crown of Karaz Gunabil, but in their wisdom, her ancestors chose to return to the Heartland. They sealed the gates with runes and blessed the halls, and the rune priest declared the mountains accursed and departed. It said that great Thognar the Wise stood atop the mountain and bellowed in the name of Valaya. Now it's nothing but a den of Rocky. Stupid rats can get everywhere.
No. Did she need food or anything like that? Because we can feed her real quick.
If she doesn't, I mean, she'll eat some food, but she doesn't seem that bad off.
Okay.
According to her, they're planning to do something with some engine that they have near the top of the mountain.
That's what we're trying to stop.
She and the other dwarfs have been brought up there a few times to work on the mechanics. And from what they understand, whatever it is happening tonight as a result of those bells.
Does the engine have anything to do with the coal and the
meeting.
fires, the furnaces?
It's a meet and greet for the new prisoner.
No, they keep the furnace going to heat the place and dispose of trash.
Gotcha. Okay.
I just look around when she
It's
says
gonna take
that.
me
Like,
long to figure that out.
Yeah.
Absorb it.
I do know secret passages here.
Nice. Okay.
If we can get the ancestors, they left their runes to guide me.
Mhm.
I assume you don't read dwarf.
I don't read it all.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That would explain it too.
There's always like this right here, over here. We don't.
do the slaves in the pen have the cloaks?
No.
Okay, for the record, if it would have mattered, I do speak Catalan.
Okay.
Do read and write Catalan.
Okay.
I'll give her my cloak,
Okay.
and because I just normally have a dark cloak anyways. I'll try to.
Stand behind me.
Yeah.
Hey, you went to the sewers, so you're obviously very filthy.
Yeah.
Oh, you're here. Didn't
What?
even notice you.
Yeah.
Why you gotta be insulting, man?
I wonder what that smell is.
You just got mud over.
Anyways, like I said, I know
Yeah,
I know
that's
secret
fine.
passages. I'll get.
just like the sewers.
What's your plan? What do you want to accomplish?
We need to get the other members of our group are nearby.
You have others here too.
Yes. There's like 7. I always forget. I can't count either. Anyway, but they're north, and but
They're
that
north.
we need to get to where that engine is.
no direction.
Because we need this up north. It's always up north, and but we need to get to the engine to destroy it before whatever happens.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
that
I can take passageways there, and I can get you to the weapon or the engine. If not, I'll take the oath of the Slayer myself.
nice? What do you think we're capable of taking down that whatever that weapon is? What would we need? Is that something we could damage with our weapons, our normal weapons, or is this something
Your
we're gonna
weapon?
need?
No, it's far too massive.
Gotcha.
I wish I was there.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, let's find the rest of our
Same
group.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
tell you that I saw him be taken off in this direction.
Okay. If we need to get to the storehouse.
What's the
Let's find the group. Then you can lead us to the storehouse.
Okay. It's through the southern passageway up the stairs.
Oh, okay. Well, it's where the rest of the group went anyway.
I'm
Okay.
still looking for the other group.
Okay.
I'll raid with you.
Before,
we went north.
as we go into the next room here, towards that, like this, I'm looking to where I saw them take Ben. I don't see him do it.
You do not.
Do I hear it?
You do not.
Okay.
Then
I am unconscious because my computer is restarting.
We'll
Oh, wait.
go up the stairs to find the rest of the group that went that way.
Okay.
Shoot, not moving.
sense movement in the chamber ahead.
Yes, you retreat from the guard post up above, Matt.
Okay.
And you are blessing the carcasses.
Yep.
When Andy, Thad, and a dwarf come into the room.
What the heck?
I found a lady.
Yes.
She's a lady.
Oh. Anyway, she can take us through secret passages to get to where we need to go. But
Boy, you got a wolf kid.
is that what he is? I was getting confused.
Yes.
Heinrich got led
Makes up
away.
for the halfling.
Heinrich got led away towards the main hall. I don't know where he.
How many people have you killed today? I guarantee you I've killed more.
Calm
All right.
down, child. I pat him on the head. Insulted the dog, patted him on the head, raging him up to release him
I
on
can
the
only
rest
get
of
home
the
to
room.
care for my dog.
I'm just getting him all ready for shake him up and then throw him. Stab!
Rollerblade.
But she can get us to the machine on the roof through secret passages. But we gotta get Heinrich, right? I don't know which way he went.
Not
but
be asking him.
I know he was in the main hall.
Crown on.
It's where they
The
took
fancy
A
crown.
crown? No, I haven't seen any sign of a crown.
It doesn't. It's not a typical crown. It's like a. It's really funny looking, like fur and weird stuff.
That's a lady's
I'll
hat.
describe the crown.
That may be from the. I mean, any such thing like that would probably be in the possession of the leaders at the top
Oh, okay.
by the weapon.
You
I think
know,
we're getting pointed that direction.
is there any way to overlook the main hall without
No.
There's no. Let's get out of this
I
room.
mean, your companion, was he captured?
They pushed him into the main hall. I'm assuming they took him wherever they take the rest of the slaves. He was wearing slave clothes.
Well, unless he fought back, which point he would have been tossed into the pit. Otherwise, he'd be thrown into the slave pens where the rest were.
Let's go that way because we gotta get him.
And then you
We
guys
just got
that's,
hurt, right?
that's where, yeah, we
We're on the other side of the cage now.
It's all connected.
Yeah, we would have. Oh, okay, so we would have seen him if he was in there.
They converted the old dwarven barracks into nothing but slave pens. It's one large room. My only concern would be the Skaven slave. I mean, it's only a short matter of time before they inform the guards.
Let's go to the other side and kill the guards.
We need to go to the roof before it gets the alarm happens.
All right.
I mean, if he
Well, if
if he wasn't already,
if we
in
can, I mean, if we can get your companion out quickly,
Yeah.
and get to the storehouse, then we can be safe.
So the storehouse is here in this area.
She points down the hallway to the west.
Okay.
You got her out. How? Go get.
Well, we can, but there's like
Yeah, we'll have
there's like
to open up
100
the key.
slaves in there.
Someone go back there. Show me.
Okay.
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 I lead him back over there.
He's
Look over there.
got the key.
Okay. You go back
To
over
the
there.
guards.
She goes, what's this friend of yours look like?
And
Who can give me a description of Ben's character?
Nobody.
he's a stinky old rodent.
He's a tall human. He doesn't really have much of a tan. He's got dark hair.
Little
I
bit.
think he has a
of facial hair.
mustache. Yeah, he's got some facial hair.
He's the well-fed amongst them.
Yeah, he's the only one who doesn't look like he's starving to death.
And he might have
He's
a
kind
few
of
pieces.
fat, actually.
He had armor on. I mean, honestly,
They probably wouldn't throw him in there with the armor.
well, they
though.
wouldn't know he had it on. He's wearing his cloak.
How old does he look?
He's like in his 30s.
Nah,
Yeah, 20s.
20s. He's
Like
young.
17 to
He-
22.
he barely-
23. Young man. Like
I
myself.
don't even have my character up, and I know that's wrong.
What color hair does he have?
Blonde.
Brown.
Nope.
It's brown hair, no mustache.
I thought he was a redhead.
It depends where you're looking. Your height might be redhead.
I mean, if only we used computer-generated artwork for characters.
Well, I tried to avoid that.
I'm not looking on purpose.
I understand that.
He's blonde. He's young. Facial hair.
One may say
He
it
likes
makes
leather.
He looks like a
blonde
fucking
brown.
elf, because that's what that looks like to me.
If you mouse over it, it shows a larger picture on the top right.
Yes, he's blonde.
That's right, he's got facial hair.
Little 5 o'clock.
Anyway,
shadow,
you
piercing.
give her a description.
Yeah.
She goes back into the slave pen,
Mhm.
wanders through it. After a couple of minutes, she comes back dragging Ben to the gate.
Is he butt ass naked?
He is, yes, butt ass naked.
Yeah.
Dragging.
Yes. I mean, he's standing, but he seems more confused and lost,
Why
and
is-
unsure what's going on.
Dude, you get into the pens and you find a lady.
She pulls him out. She pulls him out and says, "Okay, now
Yep.
we're out of time
Yep, let's go.
because the guards are already getting things going, and you can hear activity from the far side of the slave
You're
pen."
gonna run the rest of the
The
adventure
only
naked.
weapon these rats were carrying were the halberds.
Yes.
He's already got.
Let me double check, see if they had anything else.
scoop
They
up a
have,
halberd and I hand
their
it to him.
standard
I can't
trappings are.
You're medium, right?
They have a leather
You're on the
jerkin,
armor.
a mail coat,
Leather
and a
jerkin.
halberd.
There you go. Leather.
Let me go ahead and
Uh,
delete all
grab
my
a body.
stuff.
No,
Grab
don't
a body.
delete all your stuff yet.
Let me make a
Just
new.
take a pencil and write on the back of this.
Just write it down.
Yep.
That's all you're trying to do.
Grab a body.
This is a temporary moment.
On a dead serious.
Please, they would totally just gnarl my stuff.
Grab a body.
Grab a body.
Grab, because we can't take the armor and everything off of the body right now. Grab a
Right.
body so we can get the armor off of it.
Okay.
I tell her, do the same.
Well, she doesn't want it.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Nope.
You want to link?
She's fine. She's gonna be a slayer.
I'll be good.
She already said.
All right.
All right, let's get to the store.
Have you seen how tough dwarfs are?
Yeah.
Will you wear my armor?
Well, wear your armor. Sure.
He showers less than the Skaven.
Can I grab the other Skaven?
Yeah, he's a wolf kid.
Yeah. Stink, stank, stunk.
So you're gonna take the leather jerkin and mail coat.
Yep. I'll
Okay.
give her all the rest.
Okay.
She's in full leather and full chain.
Okay.
Who's not with us at this moment?
All of us.
He's the
We're
only
all not with
one
us?
that's not with you.
Yeah.
Who's not with us?
Ben is the only one that had to be rescued. Everybody else.
So
is
he's with us?
No.
Yeah.
He's still off
That's what
searching.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
But-
Fuck, where's the dude with the tombstone?
So we go back
Back
up
up to the storeroom.
Oh, let's go to the storeroom.
That's where we had to go anyway.
All right.
You guys grab the Skaven. You head down there. So head towards this location. This location where the group is.
I'm not going
For
to
those of you
remove
that
it
are
'cause
back.
we haven't had a chance to outfit yet. But
Yeah, that's fine. You're bringing the Skaven with their gear. The dwarf leads you into the side passageway here, into the storeroom, where you see pretty much the same sight as what he saw earlier. Piles and piles of stores and supplies, many of which are old, and piles of farm animal carcasses
Yeah.
that have been being stored here.
These animals are still bleeding.
When I
Yes.
when I make note of the presence, I'll call that up first.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
What the heck?
Okay.
So I think he's choking
What's
on
her
something.
name?
Quick, give him my
Petri.
way.
I wasn't confident that's worked. I think that's the first time I've actually been able to use the language
Yeah.
function.
It worked.
As I'm following her into the room, I am looking for a pick of any kind. In here, probably won't find one, but
Yeah.
Oh.
Give me a perception roll.
Look for a treasure chest
can
full of treasure.
Give me a perception roll.
I
Yeah.
take my plate down because I'm looking?
You can. In the distance, however, you hear a couple of things. One, you hear the bell chime 6.
Oh,
That's not a good sign.
no, it's good.
Yes.
I found all the
That,
treasure.
that was a whole different thing. That was the Skaven alarm,
I
apparently.
was about to say
going on.
that sounds like a fucking
what was her
the
name?
tornado siren comes off.
If I hear the bells, I won't take my helm down
Okay.
because I feel like it's getting cold out.
You hear initially a notable increase in the ambient noise as sounds of alarm start echoing through the place. Okay. Putting the rats on alert at this point. Okay. Shortly thereafter, as the whole group files into this room and sees him and so forth, you hear the chime of the bell ring 6.
6.
That was my
All right.
dice from
Okay.
So I roll my perception.
Yeah, that was your fumble.
Yeah.
Was that original
There's-
whistle?
There's my perception with my quiff. So
Okay. So is everybody here? Take a moment to update your gear and everything. Now you can use a halberd, or you can turn it into an improvised weapon if you prefer.
Is there a hand weapon equivalent in the room?
I have a bow.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
You there are boxes that have hand weapons if you prefer a basic
What's your
hand weapon.
ballistic skill?
Given the fact
Stat.
I've already searched. a lot
Honestly,
of
that would
things
probably
in
be
the
better
room,
than a hand
Could
weapon.
I tell if there was
Yeah,
a
it would
pickaxe
be.
or another?
Well,
If there was
you
a
don't have
pickaxe.
bow skill, remember, it's a
Yeah.
minus 20.
There's a couple
still be
of
better.
crates that have old dwarven gear,
You're really basic. is what-
pickaxes, things like that.
I'll
So-
pick the
I'll
found
find
one.
them.
Yeah.
60.
And all you
So if
would
you
get
wanna take
is
a
your
pickaxe,
ballistic
you
skill
can.
minus 20. And
Yeah,
you put that on
I'll-
main sheet.
Okay.
You don't get any of your trade.
Yeah, she
45,
grabs a
so you
hand
have
weapon,
25.
discards the
25 with a
broken
bow.
halberd.
good.
No, I have a
Have it.
40
Yeah.
with the bow.
Where'd you guys get
Oh, yeah,
that?
so,
halberd?
okay. 40 with the bow or a 60 with the hand weapon.
We found
Take the
we
hand
found
weapon.
2
So I
dead
can give you a dagger. Well, and I'll give you a bow.
rats.
What's up with him?
I'll give you a bow and 12
Oh,
arrows.
he forgot his clothes.
So put that in there.
Oh,
He's not naked. He has a shirt on now.
So,
well.
Steak
It's
and
just not long enough.
That's so great. It's just
Hey, I can understand not wanting to have any clothes. The more you get hit, the better.
piss
These
off.
Sigmarites.
It lets the blood flow easier.
Oh God, stop.
that's. I'm assuming that's on the animals, guys. We should just.
Let him borrow yours to do that.
What?
No dagger.
I'm just waiting for one of the Skaven to be
Alrighty.
messing with my pistol because
So-
it's loaded and just
Is
shoot
she-
himself.
She.
No.
I go. Okay, where we?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Everybody's getting dressed up.
Yeah, everybody's getting.
Sorry.
There's enough
That would be
basic
fucked up.
clothing
Yeah.
as well. I mean, cloths and things like that. Most of it dwarven make that you can outfit yourself so people aren't running around naked.
I would not even be.
There isn't any
What if I-
armor or other stuff, but there are hand weapons.
Well, they are hand weapons.
There are hand weapons if you want a hand weapon. And Andy was able to locate a crate that has a couple of dwarven picks. If anybody wants a dwarven pick.
Well, you know what? I might actually be pretty lightweight at this point. So let me take off all this wonderful. As you said, leather
No,
Jack?
that's intimidation.
What they have?
Yeah.
What the Skaven had? They had a
How
Ready
heavy?
to attack, and they're like,
leather jerkin and a mail coat.
How heavy are picks?
pigs are 1 to carry.
There's 0 if you throw them.
Correct.
While they're all kidding out, I'll be carrying on a conversation with the female dwarf.
So,
Mainly
Hello.
talking about how. Mainly asking about how.
What brings you here?
that was her. That was her saying it to him. What are you talking about? Stuff.
Mainly
Any
asking about
beard oil
how
on
many
you?
others are
Nice.
there and
How many others are there?
how many other dwarves are here.
Just the other 2. The rest died.
Mm.
Dwarfs don't surrender easily.
And they shall be avenged. And yeah, I'll just carry on a conversation with her.
Okay.
Recounting tales of the past.
While they're all
Okay.
looting, I'm actually
So you
staying
have my bow in
near the
bow
entrance.
arrows,
I'm still trying to move all my stuff to
Lifting.
one area,
Mhm.
so I don't have to delete.
Because I've got everything I need. I don't give a shit about
Okay.
anything.
Her carrying a pickaxe instead of a hand weapon?
Oh, I have a hand weapon.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the hand
The-
weapon you're carrying for me.
I'm gonna assume.
I don't know what's in the gear you
Again,
gave.
it's right here.
I know, but I never.
Here too.
You just said. I just said. Tell me how
Um,
much I'm carrying.
Well, I
As the
told you
group
what
is
it
getting,
except
as
you
the
can
group
see it.
is outfitting
I
themselves,
have a hand weapon.
Yeah.
sort of like the
This
scene
is
following the trash compactor where they're putting all new
But
clothes
main
on
thing
and
I was
everything else.
asking is, do we think a pickaxe will be more
you can
helpful than
hear-
a spearhead weapon?
Skaven approaching from outside.
If you can carry it.
You have maybe 30 seconds or so before they arrive here.
Yeah,
Okay. She's over on the wall. He's talking to her. She's trying to focus on searching the wall and everything, trying to find things.
I'm ready myself. If he's,
Okay.
I
if you're alerting us. Tell us to be quiet, but you're alerting us of it.
Mhm,
Okay. I'm ready.
I hide the box.
Does she seem
But-
fatigued? By the way,
Yes.
I give her a vitality drought. Pretty pissed.
Then where are
Sniffs
we at
that.
in
Got
comparison
anything
to
stronger?
where I'm at?
Here's a bottle of wine as well.
Wash it down with that.
This is where the group is.
She gives you the vitality drop out and drains the
I'll
bottle.
give her both bottles.
Yeah. She just takes the one. She seems much more energized at this point.
She's ready to go. Let's rock and roll.
But either way, we hide. I guess.
My mind's still in.
No.
She studies the wall.
Yeah.
As you can hear the soldiers starting to approach, you can hear them in the outer room. She says, there it is, and pushes one of the stones in about a half inch. As it does so, a little door opens up here,
Go.
That's cool.
and
Go,
she
go, go.
quickly ducks into it, standing on the other side, waiting to close the
All
door.
of us move.
Yep. Go.
Yeah.
Yep.
I run because I'm so
Is there a way to close this on our way in? I'm just asking.
Yeah, she's waiting by the door.
Okay. Good.
As soon as you guys come in.
I really want to ditch all this food I'm carrying.
For the conversation, I was trying to
understand
integrate the reason I know nearly
Yeah, I'm
everything,
thinking about
which is
ditching my heavy
fair.
clothing, but
I'm kind of wording it as my
what
character's
happens?
pretty old
we
compared to the
leave,
rest, and
we're
he's
back
just been
out.
wandering, doing his thing.
Survival.
Want that? Okay.
Hence why you're
All right, you have to lead it. I'll drop it.
And I assume German is going in too, but he's looking
Yes.
up here.
I'm going in.
Jarman still putting
I
on
was,
his
I,
pants.
for some reason, I was assuming you were moving this as a group, but I apologize. So I
Okay.
apologize.
Try to make note of where
It's just a dead end, straight into a
see if
closet.
there's actual like ruins.
Oh, I get the I's and E's mixed up.
No, we will slowly suck it.
I drop enough of my own food here to where I'm no longer encumbered.
Okay.
If she wants, I tell her,
Yeah, outside, beyond the wall, as soon as the door closes, all sounds of the place stop. Okay. As it was coming close,
12 arrows.
you could hear
Go ahead.
armored people moving into the room. They didn't seem to react per se, given the sounds of the flies and everything else. But they obviously were right about there. Beyond, at the back of the passageway, there is a ladder that climbs up.
What told you?
All right, it's more time.
Is
Start
there
making
something we
rolls.
should know?
See if you die on the ladder.
What told you of the door? Is there some?
I've
So
studied
like,
this place for ages. That's why I wanted to come visit the place.
I start heading up the ladder.
Okay.
It is that time of the night, by the way.
Okay. And with that, she leads you deeper into the place. So that's a good point to end.
Is it?
And given what time it is, yeah, it's just after 10.
I feel targeted.
You feel targeted?
I accidentally targeted him. I don't know how to
Okay.
untarget him now.
You just
So-
put my token again.
Yeah, make a note of any gear changes that you had.
Did.
If you need to redistribute gear, according to her, this is a safe place to do so. Or if anybody needs any wounds tended, etc. I don't think there were any per se.
I'm down one hit point.
But this seems to be concealed here. It seems to be safe. Now she's going to take you to the next floor where it's going to open up. She doesn't know what's going to be there.
No.
She knows that it leads to the refinery. Doesn't know anything beyond that.
While
Who's there?
everybody is armor swapping and all that kind of stuff, I'm gonna ask her for any weak points on, like, if she was up there with the other
Mhm.
dwarves looking at mechanical stuff. I have no idea how this stuff works. If
The,
they're
the way she describes it, like I said, the rats were using the dwarves as engineering technical knowledge. Not that they were really engineers,
right,
but the Skaven naturally assumed dwarves mean engineering
Yeah.
knowledge. So they forced them to work on the gears and things like that. The way she describes it is her description is it's roughly designed as a massive cannon that uses these green rocks that the Skaven have been collecting and bringing to this place for quite some time as some sort of a power source. Okay. It's connected by these massive cables to various vats of chemicals and things like that nearby. And it's been fired a few times in the last couple of weeks.
Nope.
And
Do it correctly.
emits this projectile that trails a bright green light. Okay. Her understanding is they're planning to use this against Middenheim. Okay. And from what she's assumed, I mean, she knows Middenheim is 2 weeks away.
right.
I mean, it's a really long way. A weapon that can fire that far, Middenheim's defenses are going to be practically worthless.
Right. Especially
Okay.
staying on walls and don't matter.
Right. Not to mention they can't really respond.
Yeah.
Okay.
To giant tones.
There seems to be some focus on tonight, with Morsley being in the sky. Right, and it's possibly that it enhances the weapon, etc., and brings more power to it. Okay, that's where her concern is. Now, I mean, it's a human settlement. She really doesn't want to see more Middenheim destroyed because the dwarves are friends there, but that's where her concern is. Okay, if we can get to the weapon, maybe there's a way we can sabotage it. Maybe we can destroy it. Or maybe we can just disrupt things enough.
To stop it for tonight,
Right.
where the more sleep is in the air. So
Possibly. Other than that, she doesn't really know. But she can at least get you to the weapon and then figure out from there what it's going to be.
gotcha.
But it's a matter of how quickly can you get there now with the Skaven obviously alerted. And any guards are going to be that much more alert and more cautious. It may turn into, hopefully you guys are willing to kill Skaven. Because it may be some bloodshed at this point.
I think I'll be okay. I'm feeling maybe that's something we could.
You
probably
might be able to
figure out.
handle it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, would be kind of cool. The one town that we didn't cause any problems in. I mean, legitimately,
Yeah,
if
it's-
we moved it
it'd be
towards
sad that-
Oven.
It'd be
I mean-
it's sad. It'd be sad if the Skaven Fort is the only place you guys didn't kill anybody.
Right. Just as far as we know, we didn't kill anybody.
I mean, everywhere else you went, you destroyed the environment, you killed
Right.
everybody, destroyed the entire city. You killed the Skaven household, and no, nobody dies.
What's
The angle
We'll sneak our way through the whole
Other
thing.
than the two people you guys
What?
murdered,
No. What's the
we
Norwegian
we,
shit?
we
did.
coexisted quite peacefully.
You did fairly well so far.
Like we go to kill her.
So, okay, we will pick up in a couple
Right.
of weeks, or